I can at least roll. Well, no, you can roll it. Yeah, I can at least roll your dice for you in roll 20, and I've got your character sheet up here.
Josh, if you have dice at the table with you, I'll trust you to roll those if you want to do that for tonight. However you want to do that.
Chris can roll them in the thing. That's fine. Let's keep it above board. Let him tish.
Just keep up with obviously his bonuses and stuff, which all of your characters are shared, so all of you can look at that.
Yes. In fact, I need to make sure he has a long rest because he didn't do his long rest on roll 20 yet.
Yep, everyone should have a nice long rest.
Oh, and I can't actually do anything with your roll 20. I can just look at everything. That's okay.
Is that not gonna fit? Why is that not gonna fit?
No, bonus action.
I'll fix
Reaction.
that if he gets on. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, everyone should be well rested because you all spent the night in Ismark and Darovich's house, and all of you had a long rest of 8 hours. So before I do the recap, though, there's someone behind you, Ilaria.
I hope not.
Oh nope, they're gone. There it is.
I have my back to the window. I hope there's no one.
They were in the window. If someone sneaks up on you, we got you.
I can see you.
Yeah, you cannot be surprised.
There might be a delay
because...
though, so. There we go.
It's a good point. She might be surprised.
Yeah. There's someone about to stab. Oh, it's too late. It's
too late.
We tried. Okay, so real quick, the schedule is changing. I think I already announced that. I know I already announced that. So, but next week we will meet at the same time. The session length can change if you all wish. I know a lot of you probably don't want to go too late. So we can go till like 7 to 10:30, just bump it up 30 minutes. But starting next week, whether we do that or not, we will go to bi-weekly. And I'm thinking this is only going to be through the holidays and not go beyond that. But just for the time being, we'll go to every other week. But it'll still be Tuesdays, starting at 7. And I don't know if y'all want to do like a quick vote, or if people think 10:30 is too late and are still fine with the 3 hours. What do y'all think?
Well, if we do a quick vote, will we have the results by January?
Well, I think we can do recounts really quick. No one's mailing in votes. I think we'll be okay.
No, I'm gonna have to mail mine in. I'm not gonna be here next week.
Yeah,
well, if I don't,
so for those of us
win, I am going to sue you.
Say, what if I contest it?
For those of us who aren't going to be here next week, Matt, that's 2 weeks that we'd be off then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will be here next week.
Who is not going to be here next week?
I am technically on vacation for the next 3 weeks, but I think I'll have access to a computer.
3 weeks? Jesus, dude.
No. My name's Chris. I know it's confusing, but...
Oh, you have 3 weeks vacation too?
No, I'm just not Jesus.
Oh, I know
you said Jesus, dude.
You didn't even get the joke, man. That's just sad.
So, Ovok, that's amazing. Hope you're doing something cool for those 3 weeks. I'm jealous.
If I can, I'd like to go to Michigan, but it sounds like they're shutting Michigan down, so I don't know if that's going to really be possible. Might just be here for 3 weeks.
What's in Michigan?
Family and friends. Just was gonna visit. I usually go up there for Christmas.
Nice. Cool. All right, so that means only Laszlo is the only one not going to make it. Josh Wolf.
That is correct. So then I guess after tonight it'll be 3 weeks that I'll be back on.
Yeah.
Because next week and the following week. Okay.
Well.
And you can remind me, Matt, once I'm back to work. So.
Yeah.
So I'm only going to be off for those 4 days.
Yeah, I'll put the dates on Discord and all that jazz and stuff anyway.
So next week we'll be here as normal, but then after that it's every 2 weeks.
Exactly. So, anyways, yeah. So, with that being said, is 10:30 too late for anyone?
So normally, I'm totally fine with 10:30 or 11. I've been up since 3 today, so I'll probably stop at 10 today. But any other time, I'll probably do 11.
Yeah, 11 actually works best for me.
Yeah, my only problem is, Matt, I got to be up early to make sure that I can let you know what time you have to log on for your first meeting.
Exactly, and that is very important. Everyone needs to realize how important that is to me. So,
Dude, you had me cracking up when that text came in this morning. I'm like, damn, I'm barely awake myself. You're asking when the meeting is.
it was like 6:40 something. Yeah, I was like, can I go back to sleep for another 30 minutes? Like, you know.
I was about ready to ask you too. Like, dude, if you're already up, ask me what the first meeting is. Get your ass online.
It's too early. But yeah, Laszlo, Josh, Wolf, seriously though, is 10:30 too late? Or I'm sorry, 10:30, 11. Like that's why I'm saying 10:30 because if 11's too late, you know, a lot of people, if you want to be in bed by 11 or whatever.
Are you talking about tonight or going
Not
forward?
tonight. Tonight will be 10.
No, going forward it should be fine. I'll just have to, let my wife know that I won't be coming in at 10 o'clock, which she doesn't expect that half the time anyway now, Matt.
Yep. Well, you know, some people just like to get everyone almost killed. So yeah. So okay, with that I'll say 11 for now. But that doesn't start till next week. Okay. So that's 4-hour sessions, but bi-weekly. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. All right, with that, I'm going to go roll right into the recap. So we're good there. Okay. Yep. All right. So last time we played, you all just got out of quote-unquote the Death House, the Durst House. You made your way limpingly through the main roads of Barovia, and not finding much life at all there, you stumbled into the Blood Wine Tavern, or Blood of the Vine Tavern. There you met a very quiet barkeep who did serve you drinks, and you also met Ismark Inderovich, who seemed to be the only friendly person in the establishment. Um, After some talks and whatnot, you kind of expressed the urgency for a place to rest, as all of you, well, most of you were badly wounded from your fight in the Durst House. So Endurovich asked if you would actually do him a favor, but of course he would in turn give you a place to stay and rest. So after all the agreements were made, you made your way down one of the main roads to the Durst, or not the Durst house, sorry, Endurovich house, the Burgermeister's house, where you also found out that the Burgermeister recently had passed away. As you approached the house, you noticed that it had been attacked by something with lots of claws, and there were scorch marks and other things um, basically littered around this entire home. All of the windows were either barred or boarded up. The glass didn't remain in any of the windows themselves. Um, After entering the house, you met Irina, who is the stepsister of Ismark. And also, to connect a few dots, you did find a letter from the Burgermeister, which is Ismark's father, um, that basically pleaded for help for someone to come and rescue Irina from a very dark evil. The same evil that Ismark explained to each of you comes in the shape of Strahd, the Devil Strahd, as he mentioned, who has almost complete control over this domain, and he has sent countless numbers of beasts to attack and assault the Burgermeister's house to get to Irina. And unfortunately for the Burgermeister, he succumbed to a heart attack amongst these assaults. That being said, when you did enter in, you saw the Burgermeister himself, lifeless, there in a crudely made wooden coffin or casket, um, with flowers littered about. You also saw a lot of holy symbols kind of scattered throughout the home. meeting Irina, you did a quick intro. Not too much talking was made there. You all settled down, tried to rest. A lot of wounds, like I said, were very deep and needed to be healed as soon as possible. As the night passed, some of you had interactions with Ismark throughout the night. For instance, Selkar had a long conversation in which Adric was able to listen in to a good bit of it, but some of it had to do with some of the religious deities that they worship here in Barovia, and also some of the history that Strahd has and the hold that he has over this realm. Most notably, the interaction, or what was seen by Adric and others, was the March of the Dead, where, as Ismark explained, every night corpses rise from the town's graveyard and march westward. He explained that these corpses were adventurers that tried to slay Strahd and were unable to do so as part of a large rebellion, and they are forever cursed and are forced to do this march every single night. He also explained that none of them have tried to speak to them, but they seem to not acknowledge anyone or anything. Also during the night, Ilaria and Laszlo did some cooking, did some ransacking a little bit, got caught a little bit there, decided to put some of it back, not all of it. So you got some rations there, cooked up a field mouse, as I was very specific about that, I guess, and fed half of it to Torvin as he awoke, and he loved it. So now, basically at this time, all of you are waking up and all gathering to the main floor where the Burgermeister is laying. And Ismark is hoping that you all are going to go by your word, of which Torvin had said that he would, bury the Burgermeister, and that Ismark would also explain more in detail of what exactly he's requiring of you all after the burial. So, at this time, like I said, all of you are waking up. Some of you are upstairs, so you're all coming down. Basically, Ismark is in like the dining area. Irina's just kind of standing. She's over by one of the windows that's barred. She's just kind of looking out and looking over her shoulder every now and then at the Burgermeister as he lays there lifelessly. Ismark is in the kitchen, for those of you that can see him, and he seems to be gathering like supplies and other things, mostly like bread rolls, apples, and stuff like that. What does everyone want to do right now?
I was the last one awake, right? I just woke up off the couch.
Yeah, well, the last shift was Ilaria and Laszlo, so everyone else
Okay.
should have
We're
been
all
asleep.
sleeping.
Yep.
Should have been.
To my knowledge, you were all asleep. So, yeah, but everyone's awake now. Torvin, you see him crunching down on a nice rat or a field mouse. What do y'all want to do?
Technically, you wouldn't see anything. It would just kind of like, it was gone.
Oh, yeah, he slurped it in. Just held half of it by the tail and just...
I don't think you would have even seen it. Like a tic tac.
This is a good question. What do we want to do? What's the plan? You gonna just go over here? I'll go over here.
Well, we should probably just meet up for a breakfast if you guys left anything last night. Not that I would know that at the moment.
Oh yeah, food. This food is good. Yeah, so we can get some. This guy will feed us, right? So we don't have to worry about our rations.
Does our host have a mission for us?
So, Ismark is in the kitchen if any of you want to interact with him. He's in there just gathering, like I said, supplies, so...
Okay, so
he
yeah,
had mentioned he mentioned a lot of it to Selkar last session, and Adric overheard some of it. but he had already mentioned that he was going to go over more of the details in the morning.
All right, I'll head in the kitchen and talk to him.
Okay.
I'm
yeah,
kind of ostracized from my group, so try to make friends elsewhere.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so for those of you that walk in the kitchen, like I said, Ismark's just gathering up things. He looks over his shoulder and he's just like, yes, I'm just want to gather things for the journey to come. It's not a short trip to Valaki, but I think I have enough here to hold us over. We might have to stop and do a little bit of hunting or fishing, but this should do.
Do you need help packing, or should we carry it, split it up between the party, make it easier for you? Or do you want to, is it enough you can carry on your own?
I can carry it on my own, or, if each of you want to parcel it out between the lot of you. There are quite a bit of you, so whatever you feel would be best. I just want to be able to provide. I really appreciate the help in this.
Well, we greatly appreciate the place to sleep and the food. It's been a rough couple of days. Do you have some like baking powder? I think I bled on your couch. I thought maybe I should clean that up.
Sadly, that's probably not the first bit of blood that couch has seen, so don't worry about it.
Kinky. Okay, well, if there's anything I can do to, help out or repay you, I really appreciate the help.
Yeah, well, before we depart, I know Irina is well, she's very impatient, wants to get our father buried quickly, and put him to rest. I did want to explain to all of you that the journey is not short, and it will not be easy. I know I mentioned Strahd before, and I'm not sure how familiar you all are with Strahd, or if you've had any dealings with him since you've been here in Barovia. And I'm just gonna say that like y'all have kind of corralled in here, so you're all hearing this, as I would expect. And while he's saying this, I'll say that he's like handing out like loaves of bread and some apples and such, maybe some like cured meats and stuff. So all of you are gonna get 2 rations apiece right now.
Excellent.
So get that. But he's posing a question as far as y'all's knowledge about Strahd right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not familiar with them.
Well, he is ancient, and he is the land, as they say. He is the ruler of this land, this cursed land, and it's cursed because of him. Unfortunately, he has a special eye for my sister Irina. He has visited her. Words are hard. He has visited her twice already. Irina, please join us. And she steps in, and he like gestures at her and says, "Show them." And she, so still wearing like, so something that you might not have noticed is that she's actually like battle ready now. Irina has donned a breastplate, and has like scarlet red underneath it, with a hood not over her, but kind of behind her and whatnot. And she has a long sword at her hip. Still has that really nice flowing brown hair, and just a natural beauty, very exquisite, very definitely could pick her out of a crowd. But she walks in, and he gestures, and she just kind of pulls down the side of her cloak, and you could see 2 marks on her neck. And she quickly just covers it back up and just kind of looks away, a little bit embarrassed, it looks like. And Ismark just continues and says, I'm not sure how much you know of vampires, but Strahd is the most powerful that may exist.
Ovok's eye,
Don't sorry, go ahead.
Ovok's eye is just twitching, and there's like her lips are like not quite pulling back in a snarl, but getting close. She's getting excited.
Okay.
She's pissed.
Yeah. What's up, Selkar?
Don't they not like garlic? Why don't you eat some garlic? You know, kills them, right?
Ismark has like the slightest of smile and says, if only it was that simple. Uh, some of the legends are true. Um, you know, they can't be invited. They can't come in unless invited. They don't like sunlight. Unfortunately, the sun never shines in Barovia. Running water is another thing that they dislike. They can they can suck the life out of their victims, and well, they can change shapes. Uh, many
Well,
things.
now that she has been bitten, is there not a risk that she will turn into a vampire? Is that not in legend?
That seems to be a myth. She's been visited twice. Strahd, strong as he is, he's quite the charmer, and Irina, he kind of puts a bit of a hex over her and charmed his way inside, and, well, she hasn't turned yet, and I believe it's more of a lengthy process. She hasn't. We're not really sure exactly how it works, but she shows no sign of turning.
Did somebody write down all that stuff about what actually works? Because I didn't.
I will.
I got the doesn't like running water, doesn't like sunset, doesn't like sunlight. Um, uh, do you have book or pamphlet on the real vampire Elithim? Like all the bullet points of things we need to know, or just to
Unfortunately, no. This is common knowledge for any Barovian.
just to save time and us what's the word, RPing the full conversation.
You are gonna have to keep your own notes. I can, of course, circle back with notes.
Okay, no, that's
Um,
fine. Just wondering.
Question.
Yep.
So, when's the last time you visited, and how frequent are they between the two visits?
He looks over at Irina and looks back and says, he visited, I think, 2 nights before my father's death was the last visit. The time before that, she was not even in the house. He found her out in the village and charmed her and spent the evening with her, and I'm not sure why he doesn't take her or why he has this affection for her, but we need to move her away from the view of his home, Ravenloft, the large castle on the hill. Valaki, there are enemies of Strahd there, allies, and far away, well, at least in the land of Barovia, far away from Ravenloft.
Okay. Well, two things. First off, I know what my next trophy is going to be. Number two, um, if the visits are frequent and we expect him to come back at some time, shouldn't we just lay a trap?
I don't know if you were awake when I talked about the rebellion, but did you see the March of the Dead last night?
No.
So, countless number of adventurers have tried to overthrow and slay Strahd. One in particular wizard led a rebellion uh, for that exact purpose, and there were dozens and dozens, and they were unsuccessful. And many try, but I don't think there's any trap that we can lay that will actually rid this land of him.
Well, Obak silently disagrees, but says no more.
I wish it was that simple. I think you saw the outside of our house. It's not just Strahd would be facing, but all of his beasts too. So, the only answer that we have is to move Irina to Valaki, where there is actually an order that stands against Strahd. It's a very powerful family, much like the Enderoviches used to be. Uh, Strahd doesn't seem to make his way out there very often, and even if he does, at least it will be around allies and his enemies.
Hmm.
And I also know that being in a foreign land and not knowing when or how to leave can be troublesome, and maybe more answers lie in Valaki for you all.
Okay. Well, when do we leave? Wait, actually, when are you burying your father?
As soon as we're done here, we'll go to the
Okay.
church and talk to Donovich, and he will perform the rites.
All right. Everybody ready? Everybody eat.
Yeah, I'll stay a while in the kitchen. I ate.
Okay. Yep. For those of you eating and listening to this amazing tale, just mark that ration gone. Excuse me. Mark that ration gone, and just say that you've eaten for the day. I know some of you ate some big field mice thing, so you're already good. So with that, if does anyone else ask anything of Ismark?
Well, I'm just gonna thank him for inviting us all in, especially since I'm the shape of a cat.
Because you're in the shape of a cat.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he he looks at you and is like, you're welcome. Yeah, I'm still giving you
Oh,
2 rations. I think you might have some bonus ones that you found last night.
are vampires cat people or dog people?
Are you asking Ismark that?
Yeah, I'm just kind of trying to. There was actually a serious question of whether or not like they're afraid of cats or anything. I actually don't know.
Well, they're not mummies.
Didn't know
Mummies
if
aren't
mummies were
afraid of
afraid of
cats.
Some of them are. Have you ever seen The Mummy?
Well, dog people mummies, sure.
Ismark says, well, I can say that he controls quite a number of wolves, if that answers your question. I have not seen any
Big
panthers.
oof. Laszlo, you might have to work something out here.
I'm not scared of no wolves.
We'll get you a horse.
If there are no more questions, we can go ahead and take my father to the church. It's not too far away. Leads down the opposite main road of the village of Barovia, and right past the tavern.
Okay.
So with that being said, he'll go over to the crudely made casket, wooden casket, put the top on it, and you see Irina. Before he does that, she just places a flower right on his chest, like right in between, make sure his arms are crossed and whatnot, and just pulls away very slowly. And yeah, so who wants to help Ismark carry a casket?
I will, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, I'll take. I'll help. I don't know how many is needed.
I think
Pallbearers or
four
whatever.
of you. I think 4 is good if Ismark goes and leads the way. Then Torvik could probably hold up the back by himself if you really wanted to. Actually,
Well.
probably Ovak as well. Both of you are pretty strong. Cool. So yeah, and it's the Burgermeister is the stress and whatnot. He's not like a very large man. It's got to him. So he's not crazy heavy. So yeah, you lift the chest or the casket and make your way down the main road of Barovia. And at this time, it's very early in the morning. I think I told all of you that basically after the last watch, you saw what would be dawn in the land of Barovia, which is still overcast, just a brighter version, basically. You still have this heavy fog and mist around, but you can see through it. You see these same. Um, you see these same. Oh wow, I should have moved y'all. You see these same buildings and whatnot, kind of leading over and through the town. Still no sign of like life at all. Some of the houses do have smoke coming from their chimneys. The tavern, of course, has smoke coming from their chimneys, and just the slightest little bit of light like peering through some of the slits in the windows and the doorway. But you make your way down the cobblestone pathway, and you come to. You come to a slight, let's see, yep, you come to atop a slight rise against the roots of the pillar stone that supports Castle Ravenloft. Stands a gray, sagging edifice of stone and wood. This church has obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end and is worn and weary. A a bell tower rises toward the back, and flickering light shines through the holes in the shingled roof. The rafters strain feebly against their load. So, let's see. So yeah, y'all are basically approaching the church at this time. So let's see. Ismark's just gonna lead you to the church doors. So you approach the heavy wooden doors of the church. They're covered with claw marks and scarred by fire, so very similar to Burgermeister. And I don't know who's clicking, but please stop it.
Is that me?
I don't know. It's just loud. Okay. As you go into... Alright, so I can probably just give y'all this for now. Alright, so you should see basically the heavy doors kinda right here. You don't need to put your tokens in yet. We will get to that, and we may not even need to put your tokens in, but we'll see. I'm just going to do this just basically for some visual representation. So, as you go through these heavy wooden doors, you are greeted with a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hallway leading to a brightly lit chapel. The hall the hall is unlit and reeks of mildew. 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, lead to adjacent chambers. You see that the chapel is strewn with debris, and you hear a soft voice within reciting prayer. So, this is what you kind of see here. And I'm hoping everyone can see this as I'm marking it. Basically, you're just seeing a bunch of broken stuff, really. All right, cool. Yeah. So, as you're still carrying this casket, Ismark just kind of calls over and says, Father Donovich, and the man. I think I have a picture of him. 1 second. The man bending down in prayer looks like that. But yeah, he finishes his prayer very quickly, walks over, sees the casket, and says, Ismark, my boy, what is this? And Ismark explains. He says, this is my father, the Burgermeister. He passed a couple days ago. Me and my sister would like to bury him, if possible, Father. And Irina, following Donovich, just kind of leans over and looks at her. She's still like down, very, very sad, sorry, definitely grieving. Donovich says, "Well, all that ends well, I guess. Let's go ahead and see if we can find a hole for him." And with that, he kind of just passes each of you in the casket, and when he does, you suddenly hear a inhuman scream that rises up beneath the wooden floor.
Great.
What the fuck was that?
Donovich like looks back and says, that's well, that was my son. Don't
What
let him bother you. Just let's bury the dead.
do you mean was your son?
What's left of him is not my son anymore. I have been praying many days to find a way to heal him. It's that damn Strahd. He turned him into something that's not human anymore.
Well, would you like?
He's not going anywhere though. Let's deal with the dead first. And with that, Donovich starts walking out and goes through the heavy doors and walks towards the west. Which over here, and yeah. So, still holding the casket. What do y'all want to do? Are y'all following Donovich? Ismark tries to turn the casket to follow him.
I'll look around. Anybody else moving?
I'm certainly following.
I guess I'll go.
Okay.
I'm holding part of the casket, so I guess I will.
You'll go with him. All right. So for those of you holding the casket, you're going to follow Mr. Donovich out into the graveyard. You see several stones and whatnot. It's much like inside of the worship area. It's kind of strewn about. Gravestones are broken, and other things of the like. Of course you can. But that's what y'all are seeing as you're following him out there. And so while y'all are doing that, for those of you that did not follow, what are you doing?
How far away is it?
So let me just change this real quick to give you a little bit of a thing here. And can y'all see that, or is it blank?
Oh, it's a graveyard.
Okay, so you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I think I recognize the background.
yeah, it's probably something from something. So we're just gonna say that for the sake of this is the church, and that y'all have made your way like over. No, I'm gonna say here. You made your way like over in this area somewhere, looking for a place to um, bury him, or at least the pallbearers and whatnot are out there. The heavy doors closed behind them, and they're over there looking for a place to bury him. So Ismark and them are over there. And yeah, so for those of you that didn't follow him, what do you want to do?
I want to snoop around.
I'm going to be about
Find out what
30
that
feet
sound
back,
is.
and I'm just going to be observing the area,
Okay, so you're going to be
like
outside
making
with
sure
them.
that I'm. Yes.
Okay. Who is going to? I know Adric is inside snooping. Anyone inside with Adric snooping? The only person actually left available would be Laszlo.
Yeah, I'll go inside with them.
Okay, so we'll play that out and then we'll come back. So basically, for those of you outside at this time, what is going on? Donovich finds a good place for the burial. There's actually a stone that hasn't been used, and he basically kind of informs you that this is actually the reserved plot for the Burgermeister, but it is not already dug. So he grabs, as you place the cassock down, he basically grabs a couple shovels and hands them like to a couple of you, and starts digging. So basically, y'all are gonna be digging right now while whatever's going on with Adric and Laszlo. So we're going to do this. Adric's there. Laszlo is somewhere, wherever your token is. There. Okay. What do you all want? What do you guys want to do? Let's do Adric first.
Remembering that Adric can't see, so I'm kind of his eyes or whatever.
Good point. So,
Adric,
yeah,
you're in kind of a
there's four
No,
corner
no,
way.
There's four doors.
I pulled it up. I'm good.
Oh, okay, you got it.
I got it. I got it running in the background now. We're good.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Oh, are you looking for the stream?
No. I got it. I got it working again.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to do an investigation for that noise. He said it's his son, but I want to see if it's some undead thing, because that seems to be a going trend around here.
So, basically, as the two of you have kind of stayed back, you both hear another scream, and it's coming through this room down here. So through that door is what you're hearing. So I won't even make you do a check for that. Basically, you just need to. That's just.
Would I have any idea of what
perception.
would make that kind of sound? It sounds human, or does it sound?
It does not sound human. It does not sound
okay.
like it actually said inhuman scream, so it just sounds bestial, I guess, a little bit in nature. It sounds like a tortured scream. I'd say that.
No idea what would have made a person do that, or end up like that.
No, not just off the sounds. No.
Well, can I put my ear up to the door? Basically, what I want to figure out is if this thing's moving around freely in the room,
okay.
or if I hear chains by any chance or anything like that.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah, you can roll perception, or whoever needs to do that for Adric. Okay.
Can I do the same?
Yeah, of course.
Since we're both hearing it.
Yeah, you sure can. Are you doing it at the same door? Or are you doing it at a different door? Different door.
No,
Okay,
same door.
Okay. Both of you kind of like lean closer to the door. And let's see. As you do so, I'll say, Laszlo, you hear about the same. Like, it's still this kind of it's kind of hard to determine what it is. With a 21, Adric, you actually can see that at creeping down underneath the door, you actually see a little bit of like puddles of water. And the scream yells out once again, and this time it kind of sounds like a young man. But I will also say with a 21, It doesn't sound like it's coming. It's coming from that direction, but it doesn't sound like it's right on the other side of that door.
Okay. Can I jiggle the handle and see if it's locked? I don't want to open it. I just want to see if it's locked.
Yeah. Just jiggling the handle, it is not locked.
Does that elicit any kind of reaction from the other side?
It does not.
I'll look at Laszlo and say, "Shall we take a peek?"
Might as well.
All right.
What's the worst that
Um,
could happen?
Well, we could get attacked and die. The last time somebody did something like this, I was absorbed by a plant thing. Fuck it. Let's take a look. And I will open the door ever so slightly to see if I can see anything inside.
Okay, you can go ahead and roll a sleight of hand for me. Okay. So trying your best, you wrap your hand around the handle and push it forward. As you do so, it splashes and sloshes some other debris and water away from the doorway, making, a little bit of noise, more than you would have hoped for. But it does reveal that, let's see, yep, it does reveal a moldy room, which contains a few broken roof shingles amid puddles of water. In one corner, set into the floor, is a heavy wooden trap door held shut with a chain and padlock. That's all.
Is
That's all
there
that's in this room.
if I look up, is there like a hole in the roof then?
Looking up, yes, there is a couple holes in the roof.
Claw marks on the inside of the walls by any chance?
In the inside of these walls?
Yeah.
No, there's not.
Now I'll look at Laszlo again and say, "Well, another fucking trap door. It screams, stay away from me. But I don't want to stay away from me.
I agree with you.
Is this a bad idea?
I think the
Probably.
trapdoor is using reverse psychiatry on us. It says stay away because it wants us to come in.
I think you are right. Should we check the rest of the rooms first, or right into the trapdoor?
Let's check the other rooms because you never know. We might find something to assist us before we go down.
Well, all right. Do you want to take other side of the hallway? I will take this other room.
I go left, you go right.
Done.
Okay.
We'll split up.
As you,
Just ever so slightly.
Yep. As you move out of that
I will
room,
close the door behind me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll still say that as you're closing the door, move out of the room, both of you hear from beneath the floor a young man's voice. Even Laszlo, you can tell that it's a young man's voice. It cries out and says, "Father, I'm starving."
Oh, that's
then you just close the door.
probably nothing.
Exactly. I didn't hear anything, did you?
Nothing weird or out of the ordinary, no. Sounds like a normal, happy family. Alright, I'm gonna check this other room.
Okay. So you're checking that one, and Laszlo, you're checking the other one?
Yes.
All right. I'll do Laszlo's first this time. So we will do that. Okay. Opening this door, you see a dirty, lightless room. Contains a wooden bed with a straw-filled mattress. Mounted above the bed's headboard is a wooden holy symbol.
So can I investigate the bed and the holy
course.
symbol?
Yeah, you could do that.
I didn't realize there were two rooms on this side.
Yep.
But that's fine.
With a 23, I'll say that you look over the bed. It doesn't look like it's been used in quite a long time. There's actually kind of like mold in some of the straw mattress. You don't find any valuables or anything like that. And the holy symbol looks similar to what was in Ismark's house, in one of those holy symbols, but it doesn't really. You're unsure of what deity or whatnot that it would worship.
So this does not look like somebody's office, right?
No.
Because I was gonna say, as a cat, I'll just piss and puke all over it and leave a nice smell in there for them.
Yeah, you would do that. So,
I should let you know that cats are not near as evil asswipes as you are. I'm just saying, that's just not how cats are.
You want to correct that, Matt?
I have 5 cats. I
a
have
lot of
had.
cats.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
That's
lot
all
of
I've been
none.
hearing from Matt is how evil his cats are.
Aren't
Well-
they said to be the guardians of hell or something like that?
Every once in a while, there's
Well, I
someone that
live in
murders
hell,
people
then.
too, but that's.
All right. So, opening that room, you see an old desk and a chair. Oh, it's an office. And a chair
I'm
stand
coming in. I'm peeing
against
everywhere.
the south wall. A wooden holy symbol mounted above them. A sunburst. That's the holy symbol. A 10-foot long iron rod attached to the north wall stands bare, suggesting a tapestry once hung there. Against the far wall stands a wooden cabinet with 4 tall doors. What you
I'm
do?
gonna rummage the room really quickly. Anything of note in the desk or the cabinet?
Cool. Do investigation for that.
Do we have this other guy buried yet?
Keep
Not at
digging.
all. Not at all. Y'all are just burying and burying. Ilaria, you can go ahead and roll perception though, because you're kind of keeping out, like a lookout and whatnot. But yeah, you are digging. Okay, with a 21. Man, y'all are doing some good rolls tonight. The desk drawers contain a few sheets of blank parchment along with a couple quill pens and dried up jars of ink. For its size, the wooden cabinet contains very little. Inside is a tinderbox, a few wooden boxes of a few wooden boxes full of candles, and 2 well-used books. The books are titled Hymns to the Dawn, a volume of chants to the Morning Lord, and the other one is The Blade of Truth, the uses of logic in the war against Diabloist heresies as fought by the Olmist Inquisition. That is a long title.
Wow. Do I know this Dawn Lord and the symbol on the wall?
You do not, but you have seen the symbol inside of Ismark's house. And
Okay.
actually, no, he didn't talk about. I think if you overheard the conversation with him and Selkar, he did mention it to be one of their deities that they worship. You would have
Okay.
definitely heard him talk about the Mother Night. The Dawn Lord is the other one. That's the 2 that they worship.
Gotcha.
Yep. So that's what you find.
I'll leave everything where it is. Nothing to really interest me. And I'll exit the room.
At which time, I'll ask Adric, do you want to go in this last room together?
Sure. But after you, I insist.
It's a bomb. And then there was one. All right. And investigation for stuff. So real quick, Ilaria, your perception. So looking around, you see that around the graveyard, you can still see the village of Barovia, even though the fog, as you're like watching them dig and time is going on, the fog seems to thicken. The village is becoming less and less visible. And then to the north, the mist, this wall of fog that you've seen, is kind of like slowly approaching. Like you could see probably out a few trees and whatnot, and now you're starting to see some of those trees kind of disappear into this fog as it's slowly kind of approaching. So, do you want to say anything to anyone as you see this?
Yes, I would like to get everybody that's outside's attention so that they can see that as well.
How you gonna
So,
how you
hey
gonna get their
guys.
attention?
So I'm about 30 feet away, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, they can hear me pretty easily. So I'm just gonna be like, "Hey guys, check this out. Look what's happening. You know, this fog is kind of moving in. Do I get the feeling that it's almost like just not a normal fog, like almost as if it has like a life to
I
it?
feel like that over the days that you've been in Barovia, no one has explained any of like some of the weather and whatnot to you, but you would definitely think it would be odd. At least you would think it would be odd that maybe it's just this area, but it is a little odd how much the fog is just everywhere and how it just kind of walls off certain areas and such. So yeah, so basically, Ilaria announces this to all of you as you're digging and whatnot.
So
Yep. Is there, did you want to do something else?
what do y'all think we should do? Should we go inside and then get away from this, or what do y'all want to do?
I'll
I'll
say Donovich like speaks up. He's kind of just like watching most of you dig instead of digging himself. He's just digging so slowly, and he's like, "God, it's just the weather here. Are you new? This is very common in
Okay.
Barovia."
Right. Then I'm just gonna continue to be on the lookout, watching for any movements or changes in our surroundings.
Okay. Selkar, did you want to do something?
Oh, I was gonna ask him about it, but he already spoke up, so no need to ask.
Gotcha. Okay. This room is a dirty room that contains a wooden bed with a straw mattress, next to which rests a small table with an oil lamp burning brightly on it. Mounted above the bed's headboard is a wooden sun-shaped holy symbol. And with your investigation checks, 15, 17, as you kind of, look through the room and whatnot, nothing. Nothing of value. Basically, it's very simple and, you know, there's nothing hidden or, anything that kind of catches your eyes as far as valuables.
So all three of these rooms had holy symbols up on the wall.
True.
Did the room with the trapdoor have one? Can't remember.
Did not.
Okay. So what evil is beneath that trapdoor?
I do not know. But we can go find out.
Should we see if the rest of them want to come with us before we attempt this alone?
Yeah, obviously, but are we going to? Probably not. It would be a great idea, but we really haven't been following best practices
You'll hear another
since we
scream
started this
come out.
vengeance.
You can't make out what it says, but you hear another scream
Come on,
come out from below.
we poke
Oh,
our
what
heads
the hell?
in, we see
Yeah.
what's going on, we close it, we lock it again. I mean, I've seen you open stuff before. You can close stuff just as easily.
Yeah, what the hell? I mean, worst case is, I die and I get 3 weeks off.
That's very specific. All right.
That's how long it takes for him to reincarnate.
I'm gonna move to the door, and I can see Ilaria from here, right? Just keeping an eye out.
Yeah, if you open the door was shut, so yeah, if you open the door and see her, yeah. Yep.
I just want to furtively poke my head out and try and catch her attention, and just make like that keep a watch out gesture with my hands, with my hand to my eyes.
Like,
you know that one? Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
I gotcha.
All right.
Let's
I'm gonna do
see
that. I'm gonna
with our
furtively close the door.
eyes.
Just and she's like, obviously, yeah, I see you. No, you're good. I have no idea what you're trying to tell me, but yeah. And I'll furtively close the door. I hope she understands what I'm asking, but we don't know. So I'm gonna move into the room with Laszlo.
You just did the Peter Griffin. Let's look with our eyes. That's what you did. Okay, cool. Yeah, moving into the room. It does
So-
have that padlock and chain there. So
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. I can
So
use my
after he
thieves
closes the
tools.
door,
yeah. Sorry, 1 second. Ilari, what's up? Oh, can't hear you. Can't
I
hear
want
you
to
now.
hurt.
We only heard half of that, or I only heard half of that.
I'm gonna tell the guys doing the grave that they may want to hurry because our two goofballs inside are having fun without us.
All right. Side note: out of character. When have I ever been a goofball?
And I
Once
took offense to that.
in this in
Hey,
this
look,
campaign.
I'm the one that resembles that remark.
Yeah. If anything, the goofballs are all outside digging a hole.
Oh.
So to that remark, you hear Donovich say, "Tell those goofballs to come out and get a shovel." But y'all are nearing the end of you're
Can I-
definitely like about ready to place the casket in the hole.
Can I be asking him some questions while we're digging?
Sure. Give me some quick questions.
Some just the general ones about my crazy, about vampires. Now that I've found out they're real, I have some questions. Just have a whole list here. You want me to just send them to you?
No, you have
I
to
try.
say
I
them
tried to think of.
you have to say them to Donovich. Oh God, how long
Okay.
do you go on for? Give me
Oh, Lord.
like give me three. Give me
Okay.
three for now.
Do they have reflections?
Donovich looks at you and says, "Yes."
Has the reflections? Yes. Can they turn into a bat?
How
Not
would
the,
you know to ask that?
not the ones that I've seen. Well,
Fantasy stuff.
Ismark said that they could change shape. Who are you asking, by
Yeah.
the way, Donovich or Ismark?
Sorry, Donovich. Wait.
Because they're
No,
both
the
there.
one who's the ones whose dad we're burying.
Ismark.
Ismark. Yeah, Ismark. No, I could ask them both.
Okay.
So this vampire stuff, it's new to us. In our world, they're myths. They don't exist that we know of. Okay, and are they scared of holy symbol? And I'll hold up my holy symbol.
Okay. They both look at your holy symbol, and you see them kind of like cock their heads because you could. I'd say with your passive insight, you could tell that they don't know what deity that is for.
The Raven Queen. Do you not recognize your Raven Queen?
They
You have a graveyard. Her realm is here. This is her domain.
They both shake their head. They're like, no. We
Okay,
have the
holy
Night
symbol
Mother.
in general.
They Donovich like looks at Ismark, and Ismark looks back at him, and Donovich says, "Well, maybe you're not the brightest one, but that's a holy building, and quite a bit of holy symbols, and as you can tell, it's been assaulted, and they've entered and created a mess. So it doesn't
Well, I
work.
did not
Doesn't
snoop
work too
around
well."
your church. I barely stepped foot. But no. Okay, that's what I want to know. Rude. And I'll keep digging. Brightest one. I am too bright one.
Okay, so Laszlo, back to
I'll
you.
show him a bright one.
All right, so this door is locked, right?
There's a padlock attached to chains, basically sealing off this trapdoor currently. That needs to be unlocked, or the chains need to be broken.
So yes, basically. I'm gonna use my thieves tools. What do I got to roll to use those?
Okay, I think you're still using your starter thieves tools, so you're just gonna roll. You should have a thieves tools button actually. You just have disadvantage on it because yours are damaged.
Hey,
Uh,
oh, go ahead.
what are because I clicked on thieves tools and now it wants to know the attribute strength, dexterity.
Do dex. Do dex. Yeah, this is a dex.
And why are they damaged?
Because you would not have started with thieves tools otherwise, but you crit succeeded, so very good job, sir. So yeah, you go to unlock these. You go to unlock this padlock. You do so with ease. You just quickly, even though they're damaged, you quickly are able to just get right past the tumblers. Hear this distinct click. The lock pops open, and you slide the chains out or you slide the padlock out of the chains. Upon doing so, as soon as you do that, you hear on the other side, both you and Adric, there's no movement, but you hear on the other side in this not so tortured voice, and it says, "I can smell your blood."
I'm sorry, it was just me urinating all over the place. Um, okay, so
Can I
I'm
look
going
down?
I'm going to
Oh.
look at Adric, and I'm
Trapdoor's
gonna
not
say,
open yet. You just removed
no,
the
no, no.
chains.
I know. That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna look at Adric, and I'm gonna say, um, should we continue?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
So
we get to assume that is a decent sized hole, right? I
I'm
mean, we can
going.
open it up really quick and then close it really quick. I
So,
just want
so
to see how deep it is and see if what this thing is.
before I open it and look in there, I'm gonna open it just a crack, throw a ration in there, and then close it again real quick.
What
Get this
ratchet?
thing
Where do you have
a,
a
ra-
ratchet?
a ration because the
Oh.
thing's hungry. I'm gonna feed whatever the hell is in here. Maybe it'll be our friend.
Throw a ratchet at it.
So I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna throw a ration in there and then close the door again real quick.
Okay, so your throw that's what you're doing, and Adric, I guess you're just trying to peer in as he does this.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, as you open up
You can
the
dodge a ratchet, you can dodge a ball.
exactly, if you open up the trap door, basically it is completely dark in there. Both of you, I believe, have dark vision. So
Dude, I didn't
you-
open it enough to look in. I opened it just a crack to throw a ration in.
Okay, well, if you're gonna be able to throw a ration in, you can still see through a little crack. A ration has to fit through, so I'm guessing some sort of eyesight could see in there. So Adric, I guess, Laszlo is just blindly throwing this. Adric can see in shades of gray. You see a small landing straight down, probably about. I'd say it's only. I'd say it's only about 3 feet down, and then
Oh, wow.
immediately goes to stairs, descending further, and you don't see any movement. And then quickly as you see this, the ration gets thrown in there and it shuts.
All right. I'll let Laszlo know what I saw and
Yeah,
just say, let's listen.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. Do we hear anything now?
After a few moments, you what kind of well, I guess it's very vague as far as the ration. I'll let you decide what kind of ration you threw down there, I guess. 'Cause
Well, I
you
wish
gave
I
me
thought a
bread and
live rat, but
apples.
no.
I know you had bread and apples and like cured meats or whatever, so just tell me like what you threw down there.
The cured meats.
Okay, so like just one ration of cured meat. Okay, cool. You throw that down there. You both listen kind of attentively, and you hear some like slow like rustling coming from the other end of the whatever's down there, and you just hear another cry that says, "Starving, father."
Yo, I
Don't
just
think
gave you
he'll.
some good cured meats, and you're still hungry.
I don't think he likes dead meat.
There's no answer.
So, what do you think, Adric? Should we go in, or should we see if everybody else wants to come with us? I mean, at this point, we're assuming it's 2 against 1, but numbers might be better.
True, but
But then
maybe if
again,
we open it and wait for it to come, we can see what it is really quick.
so yeah, that's a good idea. Why don't we open it and then hightail it out of this room and wait and see.
Well, I mean, to
what's happening.
close it if it starts rushing at us, so we can lock it again. We don't want it coming out after us.
True. So let's do that. You're up this time. You open it.
All right. I'll position myself so I can slam it close. Which way did the stairs go?
They go north.
North.
Mhm.
So I'll position myself over here.
Right, I got you.
I will open the door so I can peek in.
I'm gonna come up here and just be ready in case something does jump out too fast.
Yeah, sounds good. So you open the door, and then Adric, you can see through as they descend and whatnot, that 3-foot hole. You can see with your dark vision. You have dark vision, right?
Yep.
You're half elf. You see these two eyes that kind of glint over, almost like beast eyes in the night. And then coming into better view, you see this, which is a young man that bears. He looks very, very thin, pale skin, sharp fingernails, just kind of clawing at himself a little bit, and just kind of like writhing there. But he
Not
locks.
really making any moves.
No, but he locks eyes with you, and he doesn't make any moves right now. He's still.
I have no idea what has happened to him at all. I can't like make a guess.
Other than what Donovich said, no. I mean, I would say based off of your like what all has been said, you would probably assume that he's a vampire, just based off of basic lore and everything that's been said so far. Some sort of vampire, some sort of tainted creature.
All right. And if he's making no moves towards me, then I'll just close the door and stand on it, make sure that he doesn't get up. I think the poor boy is a vampire.
Do any of our mess kits have garlic in them?
No.
It's too bad. It's a perfect yumminess to eat. Goes great with vegetables.
Next time, pack garlic powder.
I know.
Yep.
Fresh. You need fresh garlic. I mean, come on.
All right. What are you two doing?
We're gonna relock this.
Okay. The chains and padlock are still there. You could easily, lock it up if you want.
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay.
I say we leave it unlocked and we just get the heck out of here and walk away with the door unlocked and never tell the priest.
I mean, we
How
are
evil
assholes,
is
but
your
we are not.
character now?
It's
We are
his
not that
son,
much
man. His son
assholes.
wants out. We're just going to let them have a family reunion. What happens, happens.
Yeah, I'm going to relock it for now. I mean, if nothing else, think of it this way: if indeed we are up against vampires, then hey, we know where one is to test theories on.
Good point. Test it on him.
He doesn't seem so strong. I think he's pretty malnourished. So yeah, let's keep note of this, and we'll let the others know that we have a little bit of a punching bag, just in case we want to try anything.
I think you should let him out.
You're not here.
I know, but I still think you should let him out.
Noted.
Yeah, I'm not noting that. You're not
Okay,
here.
So as you redo the chains and you
Adric, let's not tell anybody what we found so they can't give us their opinion now.
and you as soon as you click the padlock in, the trap door just like almost comes up and the chains like shudder and whatnot, and as this thing starts beating on the trap door. But
Well, now
the
I
chains
hate
do not give away.
It.
The chains do not give away.
Oof.
And then after
That's
a
good
couple
to
seconds,
know.
it stops again, and you just hear another scream of "Father, I'm starving!"
So, given that I opened up that door, I would know that it's how heavy it is and how much strength that thing is putting against the other side. I can estimate if it's strong hits, weak hits.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me give you a good estimate here. Yeah, they're strong hits. Yeah,
Mm.
definitely
Maybe
above
it's good we
average.
didn't try and take it out.
Hey, maybe we could take one of them holy symbols and throw it down in the hole and see what happens.
No, well, now it's right under the trapdoor. There's no way I'm opening it again until it settles the fuck down. But good thought. We will try at
Maybe
some
we should
point.
take the holy symbols anyway, knowing we're going to be dealing with vampires. You never
Oh,
know when
there's
they're coming handy.
plenty of them around.
This is a freaking Vietnam prison. Like, you guys are messed up. Poor dude's trapped down there. And just throwing shit down in the hole.
Good thing we don't hear any of that.
Yeah, are y'all going outside?
Doesn't seem to be anything immediately that we can do. We might as well
Did we-
just catch up with people.
Did we check up in here at all, Adric, for anything? Just
Oh,
investigate.
in here? Yeah, let's take a look at the main chapel. How about that?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
again, I'll go left, you go right, and then we can also check the altar just to make sure we've checked everything in here.
Yep.
So are we like digging like a 14-foot hole for this this casket?
You don't have a bulldozer; you're doing it by
Takes
hand,
a long
and you're
time to dig a hole.
you're in very rocky ground. So yeah, it's taking you forever.
Takes a
Don't we
long
have
time.
a guy who's like literally the size of a bulldozer, and then me who's
True.
just really angry and has father issues? So
But is he good at digging holes? That's the question. Torvin could be digging
Look.
and then putting it right back into the hole. We don't know.
I'm
Where
just
you
hacking
dug
it.
the first time, you found the body, so you had to fill that one back in and start digging another hole.
You dug
I'm
too
just-
far. You hit a horse. You dug too far.
Exactly.
Okay, I want to roll for imagining the ground is my mother, and I'm just hacking away at it with a shovel.
That is
And I'm the evil one,
learning.
huh?
We're learning a lot now.
No, it's my backstory. No, that makes sense if you read my backstory.
Have you sent me your backstory?
It's saved somewhere. I think I sent it to you.
Are you talking about your backstory in the
Anyways.
game or
I
real
have
life?
serious mommy issues.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. So as the chapel is in shambles, overturned and broken pews littering the dusty floor, dozens of candles mounted in candlesticks and candelabras light every dusty corner in a fervent attempt to rid the chapel of shadows. At the far end of the church sits a claw-scarred altar. That's all. Oh, so up at the altar is a thick rope that stretches up into the bell tower, and that's that little teeny tiny thing right there.
I want to pull the rope.
Okay, do it. It makes no noise when you pull it.
Did the rope break?
No.
Can I climb the rope like I'm in gym class?
Yes. Are you doing that?
Does it go all the way
I
up
will
into
watch.
the bell tower so that I can get up there and actually look and see a survey of the land?
Are you doing that?
Sure, that's what I'm asking. If I climb it, does it go all the way up so I can look around and see this and survey the land?
I want an athletics check. See how well you're climbing this thing.
Hell, I'm a cat.
19. It's a good thing it doesn't have disadvantage. Yeah, so you start climbing the rope. It does go to the top of the... Oh, that's what you're doing. It does go up to... Is that a cantrip? You're muted.
Yeah, it's a cantrip.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. Gotcha. So, Laszlo, it does go up to the top of this church, where you do find that the bell tower is missing the actual inner device to make it ring. For some reason, it's just not there. And you can look out into, like, the surrounding area where you're seeing basically just at this height, you're just seeing mist. Most of your view is being clouded by mist. You do see the graveyard. You can see them still finishing up the last little bit of the grave, the hole, and they're starting to actually move and put the casket down into the hole. But beyond that, the surrounding area is just mist. You can't even see the village from this height.
Is
And
the
every once in a
bell
while-
still there?
The bell, yes. The
So I'm
outer,
gonna
the outer
use
part
my
of the bell is there.
Crowbar, and I'm going to hit that bell.
Okay, you hit the bell, and it lets out a very loud ring. Unless, wait, how are you hitting it? Like as hard as you can, or like a little do? Like how hard are you hitting it?
It's a good question. Can I just roll strength?
Sure.
Figure. I'm just gonna roll a d20. Let's see how hard I hit it.
12. Okay. Hard enough to make a decent noise, kind of just like echo out amongst the area. Not loud enough to discombobulate you as you're holding on to the rope, which what your GM was hoping for.
All right, I'm gonna come back down. I've had my fun.
Okay. All right. Are y'all leaving the chapel?
Well, do you want to leave, Adric? I mean, might as well go back and maybe. I'll be careful what we say if the priest is around, because I don't want him to know that we found his son in the basement.
Yeah, we'll keep that to ourselves. But yeah, we should rejoin the other. Hopefully they're done with that hole and we don't have to dig it.
Okay. Rejoining the party. I'm going to move over here. And just for the sake of this, I'm going to go ahead and put people in places and such. Do we have? Oh, we do. Do we have that? Yes, we do. There. Sure. Where is? Crap. Where is the? No, there. Where are y'all? I need to find y'all. It's very important that I find my characters. Adric and Ilaria and Laszlo, and I should have just told y'all to pull your own stuff in there. Okay. Oh, Torvin, your your token comes out prone. You're just always prone. That's funny. All right, so we're an hour and a half in, guys, and you've just dug a hole. Good job.
It was good hour.
It's a good hour.
Just in
I'm gonna
case,
say the grave's like here.
my word of radiance hasn't like damaged
so
the
go
guy in the
into-
casket, right?
Go into more detail as far as like I saw that you pinged me, but like what
Yeah.
what exactly?
So when he said I wasn't the brightest bulb kind of thing, and insulted my intelligence, and I went and grumbled a bit, I started kind of just casting word of radiance, not targeting any one of them. If there happened to be some invisible guy next to me, then he'd want to, make a thing, like maybe undead in the casket. But so they just get like a 5 foot of radiant warmth pass over them. So, my not holy, not smart enough to show you light, burst of radiant light.
So you're just having a little temper tantrum of radiance over here, just kind of
a little
spewing
bit.
out things. No,
While I'm digging a hole.
yeah, while you're digging a hole. No, it's just like bouncing off the gravestones, and this radiant light is just kind of. It doesn't shock Donovich at all. This radiant type magic.
Okay.
It does catch Irina and Ismark's eye as they're trying to help in any way they can. But they're still both trying their best to focus at the task at hand.
Okay.
But you do get the hole buried as all of that stuff took place.
We get the hole buried?
Yes, that hole is buried. And in that hole, you put the casket for the late Burgermeister. You put him to rest. And I think I heard a roll for something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, everybody who's digging the hole, I'd like you to do a strength check. I want to see if I did the most of the work. I'm very competitive, and I want to make sure that I actually did more than everybody else.
Fair enough.
Well, as we bury, I'm going to say a prayer to Helm to watch over them.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I'll add a +2 to my strength.
To your strength
So
save? Oh, yeah.
That's
'cause it's
just
a
my
save.
strength. I did more while he was praying.
Oh, okay. He wasn't focusing fully on the dig.
Yeah, it was a distraction. He
Selkart
left an
killing
opening.
it. He's too focused on his little temper tantrum that he's like not doing too much. You're all doing more than Donovich though, because he's kind of just leaning on his shovel.
I was gonna say the word of radiance is Oh wait, no, it doesn't have semantic in it. I was thinking I have to pause and make a hand motion every time,
Oh, that'd be
but it
perfect.
doesn't. Yeah.
So, yeah. So, you get the casket laid in there. There's more stuff.
Well,
Oh
he's my
my.
new rival.
Yep. Yep. For
just
every
glare at him.
2 shovels that you pull out, well, not every 2, but close to it, Torvin just does like one really large, just shovel full of dirt. Just plops it down.
Both my
he's
eyes are
just
twitching now.
yeah. So as the casket is lowered, Donovich says a prayer where he talks about the Morning Lord, and a small bit about the Night Mother, and goes on like seems like a very stage type kind of rehearsed thing that he kind of goes through. Um, he gets basically towards what you believe to be about like the wrapping up gesture of this, and Irina at this point has like some tears streaming down her face. Ismark is trying to console her the best he can. I don't know how far y'all are standing next to the casket, but y'all can go ahead, and I had you pretty close, but I don't know if y'all are moving or anything. So go ahead and just say, like, while he's doing this, go ahead and move your tokens wherever you wish to put them. And Alara, you staying there?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay there.
Okay. Cool. All right. Are we missing a Laszlo? Oh, Laszlo's over there on the stairs. Cool. So Laszlo's at a mausoleum thing. By the way, Laszlo, that mausoleum is completely closed off.
I got a crowbar. I got lockpicks.
Stick of dynamite.
Actually, let me look at that. Do I have anything that we could use to blow this thing with?
No, you
Oh
don't.
my God,
Yeah.
Laszlo, get back over here!
I got a
Don't make me
tinderbox.
come over there.
I got a torch. I got some iron.
Oh my
Ooh,
gosh.
we could start making us some yeah.
Great.
That's some
All
fun
right.
here.
Anyways, to start muting people. Anyways,
That me, I can fireball it.
it's true. It's fire damage, not explosive damage, but that is something. Yeah. So, as he basically looks like he's beginning to wrap up, the what Alaria had called out to you before, and what Donovich had said that the weather is normal. You all still see this like large amount of mist and fog, kind of surrounding this entire area. So basically beyond where this map would be showing, which is fully revealed, so you're good there. The village of Barovia, although very close by, is now nothing but mist. Um, and as Donovich speaks, to the north, a screeching swarm of bats storm out of the nearby mist, almost blackening the sky as they fly overhead. The swarm circles just for a moment, and then flying south, they begin to disappear as their tiny black bodies fade into the massive white wall of mist. Sorry, 1 second. Trying to make a change.
And I'll remember about the bat question that I asked and how they can change form. Do they look like normal bats or extra big bats? I'm gonna look for like.
It's a swarm of bats. There's so many, I'd say that you can't really make out much of that.
Okay.
But I will continue. So as they fly south, they begin to disappear as their tiny black bodies fade into the massive white wall of mist, until all that is left is a dark, shadowy figure that now steps clear of the mist and into view. This tall figure slowly approaches. As it comes closer, you can see that it is a man in a dark, billowing cape that is wrapped around his finely tailored suit of black and red. His face reveals pale skin, topped with jet black hair, a devilish smile across his face, and dark eyes deep with intensity. So, this emerges out of... I have way too many screens. Emerges out of the mist. And I definitely have a better picture of him. But there's the picture you can see. As he moves out of the mist, for those of you seeing through your peripherals, Donovich bolts. He moves as
The
fast as he
priest?
can. Yes, he bolts to and behind a nearby tomb. This figure continues to approach. As he does, the sky darkens, this time not by bats, but just the actual clouds themselves. The mist closes in very close to just the outskirts, and the walls, although broken, become walls of mist, blacking out pretty much, or whiting out pretty much everything else. You see Irina immediately recognize this figure, and Ismark steps in front of her. Ovak, I'm gonna put you right there. Steps in front of her, and the figure approaches, and I'll say he's right there. And this figure, everyone move. Yeah, that's fine. All of you move, sensing some sort of dread. I'll definitely say that this person is giving off a very large amount of power. Just the look of him, just kind of fills you with dread. Like something is definitely off. And he looks over at each of you and says, with a bit of a flourish of his hands, he says, "Welcome to my homeland. I trust that you have been treated well."
Who are
Not
you?
much. These things tried to murder us in this house, but other than that, been a very pleasant stay.
Well, except for all the wolves and creatures. Not very pleasant. The sky is dark. I don't like dark.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Very rude of me. I am Strahd von Zarovich. I am your host, as this is my land.
Well, this is unfortunate.
Okay, stop
Ovak's
moving
gonna die.
tokens. For those of you moving tokens, stop moving tokens.
So Ovak's definitely gonna die tonight. God damn it.
So as all of you were whatnot moving around, getting a better look at this figure, he locks eyes with Irina, and just says, "Irina, dear, my love, come, join me." And he extends his hand. Doing so, you actually see Irina, like draw back a little bit, and then almost as if she is overcome by something, she starts moving, trying to move forward.
Ovak attacks.
Okay. What are you doing to attack?
I am gonna draw my longsword, and I'm gonna go right for his arm.
Okay.
I know he said this is his land, but can we let him know we have a house here now?
Get voter rights, like at the homeowner association.
Ask him if he's a notary.
Sure. Go ahead and roll initiative, everyone.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, can I just shield bash
Well-
Ovak?
Okay, I don't want to get everybody killed. Like that's not my goal here. But
Well, you're gonna
Ovak
again.
just can't
Everyone
not.
roll initiative.
So what happens
Oh,
sorry.
what happens if we tell him we own a house in this land now and
Well, I was gonna try to shield bash Ovak to stop
Well,
Fine.
you guys could just not do this. I just need to do this.
Ovok's going in. He's or she is grabbing her sword and charging in. So this is initiative now. Everyone roll initiative, and then we'll go off the initiative order.
I am really sorry if I get everybody killed. That was not my intention.
I'm sorry, I didn't click on my. I didn't click on my token first.
Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
as well.
Here, hang
Wow.
on. I can do it because that'll add it, and then I can go in and change it.
Damn, I wish I was first.
Wow, look at that. Didn't even fudge that. That was awesome. Okay. So is that everybody?
Wait, he didn't get a positive. He didn't get anything to his initiative.
What do you mean?
Well, if he rolled a 20 and had like a +2 or something to initiative.
You don't worry about that.
But I just want to know. Because then I know he'd have low dex.
Sum of 20 there, metagamer. Initiative for that boy, initiative for this boy, and that one. Yeah, we'll do that one too. Oof, they didn't do so good. Okay, beautiful. All right. So, Ovok, as you are doing this initiative, is basically you're sparking this. You are going to get to go first. So go ahead and do what you want to do. You said you hold up your longsword and charge him. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can reach him. So go ahead and move your token and do your attack swing and such. 16 does in fact, hit. So go ahead and do that. And I will do some combat music because that is always good. So many windows. That work? Yep. Cool. Okay. Ovok, as you charge into this figure, who calls himself Strahd, so now I can say Strahd. Thank Jesus. So you charge into Strahd, and wielding your longsword, you come down for your attack. When you do so, he doesn't react to you at all. Your blade comes down at his finely tailored clothes and hits and just drags across it. And you look, and there is not even a mark or a cut on his clothing. What do you do?
All right. Well, okay, so when I hit with a weapon attack, I can use maneuvering attack. I'm going to allow. Who died for me last time? Was it Adric?
No one died.
No, I mean,
Who?
like, was downed. I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh, both brothers.
Everyone.
Well, Adric can see me, and he's pretty close. He can hear me. So I'm going to give him maneuvering attack. He can use half of his. You can use your reaction to move up to half your speed without provoking an attack opportunity. So you should be able to move half of your movement speed right now.
Wait,
Which
what was
I would
that?
recommend.
You can use
So you
your
can move-
reaction to move half your movement speed.
Oh,
right
an additional,
now.
so I can.
Well, you can do it at any
Right
time.
now?
It's your reaction, so you can do it at any time before your turn.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
If you want to do it now, you can. It's up to you. You can wait. It's up to you.
Okay.
Okay. With that, you see. Let's see. Top of the order. Yeah. So with that, your blade comes down. Strahd's eyes, those black, dark eyes, crimson red just floods into them and just overlays them. His smile becomes a large grin in which you can see fangs appear, and he lifts up his hands. As he does so, the ground underneath all of you trembles. And bursting from the ground, surprise, surprise, then it's actually his turn. Oh, I gotta add them to the thing. So yeah, bursting from the ground are zombies, which you've seen before. They climb out of their buried holes. And, yeah, they add themselves to the initiative order. So we're good there. And that's a long initiative. Wow, a 0? What's that guy doing? Okay, so it's actually his turn. He is going to... Yeah, he's just going to attack Ovok, since he's right there, or she's right there. Cool, yeah. Pretty simple. So, let me go ahead and do that real quick.
Did you say Strahd or one of the zombies?
Strahd is doing this. Strahd, this is his actual turn here.
Cool.
I'm just trying to see... Oh, okay. Gotcha. There's a lot of things on his stuff, so... And your AC is 18. Okay, cool. That's that. And he gets to do that. Alright. Okay, so, yeah, Ovok, Strahd grabs you with one hand, basically grabbing you right up under your arm, and then with his other hand, he comes in with just his claw-like fingernails, and just goes right into your chest, and goes through your armor, and does 7 piercing damage.
Okay. Can I use parry?
Yeah. You can do whatever reaction you want to do.
All right. So parry, that is the 7 on my superiority die +2. So I negate 9 damage.
You negate 9 damage. Okay. Yeah, he goes in and would do 7 piercing damage. As he pushes towards you, you don't let his nails and whatnot sink in that much, but still exposing the flesh. You feel your actual flesh begin to decay and rot as you take 11 necrotic. So basically, you're going to take 9 necrotic damage from that.
Okay.
With him still holding you, he goes over and attempts to bite you right there on the shoulder, and which he does. And his fangs sink into you and rip into your flesh for 10 piercing and 7 necrotic damage.
17.
Goddamn.
Also, it's important to note that your HP maximum is now reduced by 7.
Does that affect my current health?
No.
Okay.
Just your max. So if you get healed, just remember that you can't get healed to your actual max. Your max is going down to 7 now. They're going down by 7. Okay. Next up is Laszlo.
All right. So am I able to do the whole double hand thing? The main hand, off hand?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm going to attack this guy who's right next to me, and I just want to make sure I could do that. So I'm going to do the main hand short sword first.
Okay. You're just hitting the one in front of you. Okay, yeah, you definitely, go ahead and roll damage. Sorry, there's a lot going on. Okay, 4 slashing. You don't have Colossus Slayer, do you?
I thought I did, but
You're
I don't
level
see
3 now, so you should have it. No, you didn't go. You went Gloomstalker. So you don't have that. I don't know if you updated your stuff. You don't have Colossus Slayer anymore. You have Gloomstalker stuff.
What is that?
I don't remember, but it's not Colossus Slayer. If you want to go by Colossus Slayer this session, and then we'll update next session, we'll worry about it next.
Is that for strike?
No, that's a spell.
Okay, because I don't have anything underneath
Then
the features
we'll
traits.
worry about it next session. We'll just go by your Colossus Slayer this time. Unfortunately, this is the first hit, so it's not going to matter right now. But going for the rest of the session, if something is damaged, you can do a DA for Colossus Slayer. So for that, you do hit for 4 damage slashing as you just basically slash into this like rotting flesh of this zombie just lurching in front of you.
So since I'm going to go again with the offhand, can I do the Colossus Slayer with that?
Yes. Yes, you can. Okay, with a 9, yeah, roll damage. And that, okay, so we ignore this crit, so 4 and 8. So 12 slashing damage, and with that, you like sever off one of the arms from this thing. And, but it is still standing in front of you, just moaning and looking really ugly. Is there anything else you want to do?
No, if I move, he's going to get an attack of opportunity, so I'll stay here.
Right. Torvin, you are up. What would you like to do? I should move Donovich, actually. You should be there. Torvin.
I can't hear Groovy. Is he working? Oh, I muted him. That's why.
Yeah, Groovy
Cool.
is grooving it up. Is Torvin with us? Jonathan? Nope. Okay, skip it. Ismark is up. Ismark will attempt to strike the zombie in front of him. He has a long sword as well. And he sends out with 2 hands. He does 2 quick attacks at it, both connecting for a total of 17 damage. As he carves into this thing and just kind of litters the ground with rotting chunks of flesh. Still standing though. That's his turn. He's still trying to do his best to keep Arena away from Strahd. Next up is the one that he just attacked, who's going to attack him back. Alright, so basically it just lets out this flurry of blows with claws and bites and whatnot. Only one connects and hits Ismark for 5 slashing damage. It doesn't look too bad for Ismark. And up here, a Zambi that's going to attack Alaria. Alaria's AC is 16 because she's a dragon. And with that, Alaria, you dodge the first claw that comes at you as it just rakes against your dragon scales, and then it reaches in for a bite, which does 6 piercing damage. And then that's its turn. So Strahd, okay, not Strahd, another Zambi over here with Laszlo, which is going to attempt to attack him. And that's going to be hit, miss. So 2 claws come at you and a bite. Only 1 claw and a bite hit you for a whopping 11 damage, Laszlo, as it assails you. And quickly going to the next, which is next to Torvin here. He's going to do a very similar thing to Torvin, or attempt to. Torvin's AC is 19. Torvin, you're able to hold up your shield and just keep this zombie at bay. Alaria, it is now your turn.
How did we get in this position? Holy.
It's being
Alright,
recorded,
I
so
guess-
you can always look back and find out how.
I'll give you one hint.
Magic
Right
missile.
there.
Magic missile. Yeah, okay. So magic missile first level, it looks like. And at who?
This guy.
That guy? Okay. Yeah. So that's 10 damage as you rock him with 3 of these magical bursts of force. Basically just having flesh getting pulverized off of his disgusting body. Would you like to do anything else? He's still up, but looks just bad, I guess. He's not on death's door. He's a zombie, so it's kind of hard to say. He doesn't look very good, but he never did, so.
I got nothing else.
Torvin, are you back? Jonathan, I see you unmuted. I think he's trying to talk to us.
He
Well,
was typing earlier.
yeah, I saw that. Well, until he gets his stuff back, we'll just continue. So, Adric, you're up.
I will first light up, pull my rapier and light it up with some nice radiant damage.
Okay.
I'll take 3 damage to do that, and I will attack. I'm sorry, I think I missed it. This guy got damaged by this
Yes.
guy already?
Yes. Ismark carved him up a little bit with his longsword.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna attack this guy right quick with my rapier.
Alright. Which one? This one right here?
Oh, that was damage. Shoot, hang on.
It's okay, we can keep the damage, but which one are you attacking? The one to your north or south?
This, south.
South, okay.
Wait, was that damage? No, that was the actual roll. Okay.
Oh, that is the roll. Okay, yeah, I see now. Yeah, you can roll damage on that. That 10.
Alright. Yeah. It says lightning damage, but this will be radiant damage since I clicked the wrong thing.
Yeah, no problem.
There you go. 11.
11 damage. Okay.
With radiant.
With
2 radiant.
2 radiant. So 9 piercing and 2 radiant damage. 11, so that's... Math is fun. Okay, so yeah, you this is your rapier. So you just pierce into this thing's body as this radiant glow emanates from your blade and slices through him, carving out, a decent piece of him, but he's still standing, just kind of swaying there.
Okay. That's what I got right now.
All right, Ovak, back to
All
you.
right. So, a couple of sessions ago, I got a silver short sword, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to use that.
Okay.
I do not have it saved in the Roll20, so it's a 1d6 plus 5.
Okay.
Wow.
I need to do a d20 first to see if you actually hit.
Oh, did I just roll d6? Jesus.
You did.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
Still terrible.
That's plus.
13.
It's a short sword, so it's plus your dex.
Yeah, so according to D&D Beyond, that is a 1d6 plus 5 for a normal short
What
sword.
is your dex?
My dex is plus 2.
Okay. So with a 10, you go to stab him with this short sword, and you unfortunately miss as he just easily grabs your arm and stops the blade from entering him.
Alright, well, I have an... Oh my god, I don't think I used that yet. Oh, I did not. Action Surge. 1 additional action on your turn. So another one of those. 18.
Okay, so that one you can go ahead and roll. Roll damage.
Okay, and
That's
in
the
that
d6
case, that
plus
is good.
2 plus your.
It's plus dex or strength?
I'm sorry.
That's a plus strength, right?
It's no, it's dex. It'd be dex.
Okay, so
Martial
2 plus
weapon,
3. So 4.
right? Pretty sure. You said plus 4?
Plus 2.
Okay. Double checking. stuff. Cool. Yeah. So, yeah, you. I guess Torben's trying to reconnect everything. You take this blade and try to once again stab Strahd. This time he's not able to stop the blow. The blade connects onto his fine clothing once again, and just kind of glances off of it and does not make a mark.
Okay, well, I'm about to die, so I might as well just use everything. Roll. I'll do another maneuvering attack.
Okay.
I mean, it still counts as a hit, right? Even if it doesn't do damage.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll add. I mean, I add my roll for damage, but it didn't really hit. So it'd be +6, but it doesn't really matter.
So you're adding more damage to what you just did?
Yeah, so the moving attack, I roll spirited or a die of a d8, which adds the damage to the attack. And then in addition to that, I can tell somebody nearby that they can run half their movement speed as a reaction, which
Okay.
I'll do for Stalkar.
Okay, awesome. Selkar, do a perception check for me.
Yeah, how long does that last, by the way? Till I start my turn, or till the end of your turn, or
Should be this end of anytime between your turn, I think. Between my turn and your turn.
oh, okay.
So I think that would work right now. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he may let me do it before my actual turn here if I want to. Hold on. I need and you says doesn't provoke an opportunity attack?
That's correct. So you can move without any repercussions from enemies.
Yeah, can I do that? Is that okay,
What are you
Matt?
doing?
Before, can I use that reaction before my turn? Because he's right behind. Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to then, since it's not an opportunity attack, I want to move right there. Is this big enough to get some cover from Matt?
Yeah, you get. Yeah, there is.
From Strahd.
Exactly. Yeah, there's like half
Okay.
over there.
I think that's where I want to be. 15, 25, 10, and 15. Oh, wait. 50. But I wasn't going to get him anyway. Could do that. Yeah, I'm going to do that after all. I moved the wrong direction. I'm going to move there.
Where'd you move? Oh, okay, I see.
Okay.
I also say that we'll attack with longsword and then shield of faith too. So okay. I will also say that with your perception check, Silkar, I'm letting you do that because you have the highest perception by far here, passive perception.
Okay.
With that, you can tell that when Ovok struck Strahd, above you, even though with all the mist and dark clouds, you saw the faintest of like a red glow kind of emanate and then disappear.
Okay.
All right.
Do I understand what that may or may not mean?
No, not really.
Okay, but I saw a red glow. Cool. Okay. So my turn. After using my reaction to move half the movement, I am going to turn undead, and I am 30 feet from every single person here, including Strahd. So all the undead, assuming Strahd is undead, gets to roll for my turn undead.
Okay.
And it's a DC of. Oh, here, I'll just do this. Spare the dying. Wait, I didn't put it as a spell? I thought for sure I created a spell for it. Okay. Excuse me. My spell save DC is friggin' 13. So they need to roll a wisdom save of 13 for.
All right. this one up
Turn
here with
undead.
Ilaria does not succeed. So I'm going to go ahead and mark him
I want
with
to
this
confirm that I'm right. It is
thing here.
turn undead, 30 feet. Here are the details.
Each see within 30 feet must make a wish if the creature is turned for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. Turn creature must spend its turns trying to move far away from you as can. Blah blah blah. Gotcha. All right.
So see or hear. So even if they're out of my sight range due to whatever blocking, I can do it if I see or hear them.
Okay. This one fails as well. Wisdom. This one, well, I don't have to mark it. This one succeeds. Save. This one succeeds, right on the money. Wisdom. This one
And you guys have all seen this
fails.
before, so you know not to attack. If
And of course. And Strahd saves.
well, I figured that he probably has legendary, even if he doesn't.
All right. Is that your turn?
I think so. Let me double check. I don't want to move anywhere. That's correct. I'm good on that. And let's double check my bonus action section here. 2-weapon fight and spare the dying, healing word, and sanctuary. That's a first level spell. Yeah, for my bonus action, I'll go ahead and cast sanctuary on poor Ovak.
Okay.
Fool.
Sanctuary.
I'm gonna say fool though instead of actual.
Save yourself.
All right. That's your turn.
Actually, can I mention the red light every time you hit instead of saying fool? I said, "Hey, red light when you hit him."
Sure, you can say red light when you hit him.
There you go.
Okay. So Irina's turns up. She is going to move through allies as she slowly moves towards Strahd.
Oh, I meant to. Oh well, too late.
When she gets out of Ismark's reach, he is going to attempt to stop her. And he does so. As basically she gets out of his reach, he gets here. Oh, we have a new Torvin. Oh, that's the same Torvin. He's just back. Okay. So cool. Is he still not in Discord? Nope. All right. So Ismark is able to use his reaction and move away, even though he will get attacked by this guy. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Oh, but he definitely misses. So yeah, basically, Selkar, you keep this guy at bay as Ismark moves in to put himself once again in between Irina and Strahd, trying to keep her away. That's basically her turn. Donovich, yeah, does nothing because he's a coward. And this guy is next, who is your stuff, so he has moved 30 feet away. 1, 2, 3. So he moves away. He gets right up to Strahd, and Strahd reaches out with one hand and just completely destroys that thing as it moves past him. And next up,
He destroyed which one?
the one with the big red X.
Oh, as it ran away.
Yeah, as it moved away.
Got it.
So before he absolutely murders me, sorry. What was the benefit from the light that Stalker did?
Oh, he has to make a wisdom saving throw in order to attack you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, to even target you at all with anything, basically.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, this area effect thing, which he will do. No, I'm just kidding. So at this time, Strahd's still menacing with his nice blood-red eyes, rises up his hands once more, and instead of the ground trembling, the sky pours out with bats. As 3 swarms of bats come down and rain from the sky and join the fray here. And then it's his actual turn. So he is going to attempt to target Ovok because he's right there. This little bar. I don't need to do that. Okay. So he will attempt to target Ovok, which he has to do a wisdom save of, what, 13 again?
13, yep. Woohoo! Bet he can't just automatically pass that if he wants to.
He got a 14. You don't know, but he got a 14, so it doesn't matter. So he's able to target him, in which he will... That'll be cool. He's going to try to charm you. So you, Ovok, need to do a wisdom saving throw.
Of 75, sir. Of
Yep.
75.
You gotta hit 75 somehow. No, it's 17. DC of 17. So
17?
oh, you can do it. I believe in you.
No, I'm -1.
Oh, -1.
Well, this is insult to injury. I'll be charmed by the vampire.
Yeah. So I'm gonna mute Torvin real quick. Okay. As he's still getting his settings together. All right. So Ovok, Strahd is your friend. Basically, he reaches out to you, and the crimson eyes that everyone else sees look like that of a long-lost friend, and that of which that needs to be protected. You are now his ally, and any aggressive action towards him is that of which to you, almost. So, you can repeat this if they're damage to you. Other than that, yeah, nothing. Other than that, then yeah, you just you're his friend right now. So just remember that. But that's gonna be Strahd is going to
Literally worse than death.
he's just gonna move up 1 step, basically. Actually, no, he just feels as though he's in control. He's just gonna stand there. Laszlo, you're up.
So apparently, all these bats and these undead zombies seem to be obeying Strahd, right?
Yeah, he seems to be the source of them, right?
So I have disguised self. Can I make myself look like him?
You can try, but trying to do so within 6 seconds. Do you have the spell Disguise Self?
Yes,
Okay.
this thing.
Yeah.
And I've been reading it because I've been trying to figure out what I can do with it.
Yeah. Is that what you want to do?
Well, I'm thinking if I turn myself into looking like him,
Word
maybe these
creature.
undeads and these bats will think that I might be him, and maybe they're listening to me.
You can surely try.
Oh, that's about all I can do. Yeah. So if I cast this, do I end up looking like him? Do you need to put something on my character to do that?
Yeah, I can just give you like a little masky boy. Just reading it, double checking. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I wanted you to read it, because I'm kind of like, I'm not 100% sure if I can make myself look like someone else or if I can just change my own appearance.
No, you can, it's like it says, you can choose to change pretty much anything as long as they're within the same stature of you. That's the only kind of big limit. And they're, like, he's he's, he's not taller than anybody in your party here, so yeah, you can do that. So yeah, you use this illusion to cast on yourself to make yourself look like Strahd. What do you want to do after that?
So now this guy's still looking at me, right?
Currently, yeah.
I'm just thinking here. So that was my action, right? So
Yes.
or bonus action. So I still get one more thing
That was your
other
action.
than moving.
Yeah, that was your action.
So all I have left now is to move.
You have a bonus action and a move.
Okay. So I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move right here, and I'm gonna see what that little dead dude does.
Okay. Moving past him, you see after you take on this shape, even though he watched you do that, let me double check, but I'm pretty sure that, yeah, you move past him, and he just, like, starts lurching and moving, and facing towards the others and not towards you.
Okay. Good. So my plan's working. That was my test. I'm like, dude, he's either gonna kill me or he's gonna be convinced. All right, so he's now moving this direction, right? Something like to the left. Can I, with whatever I have left, can I do a bow?
Yeah. Oh, no, you can't do it.
No?
Sorry, you already did your action.
Okay. So what do I have left that I can do?
Nothing, I don't think. Unless you have a bonus
Okay.
action spell that you want to use.
Let me look at my spells.
I think you have Zephyr Strike, but it's not going to affect anything on this turn.
No, I have Cure Wounds too, which I don't know if that can help anybody if I'm close enough.
You're not close enough.
Cure wounds is an action most of the time.
Okay. All right, well then I'm just gonna hang out here and
Okay.
wait for my next turn.
Is Jonathan here? Are you good, Jonathan?
I'm here. I don't know what happened.
Cool. Can you control your stuff?
Yeah.
We'll let you go twice. So,
Alright.
the only thing that you missed really was turn undead. So this one right here is turned. It is going to move away as long as he's not attacked.
Okay.
And you would have seen this before, so you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I don't have that ability. So I'm going to start with Shield of Faith. Give myself 2 AC.
All right. Gotcha.
And,
21 now.
I'm going to charge Strahd.
Okay. You can do that. So you're... Oh, you went inside of him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
He's at the bottom of my screen.
Okay.
And I am going to strike. Has anyone hit him already?
Ovok has. Twice.
A couple of times.
Technically.
I'm assuming he looks fine.
Neither of times did the blade do any damage. Or so it seemed.
Please understand that I am an enemy right now.
Okay.
Yeah, Strahd has charmed Ovok.
We don't know that though, right?
No, not really. You just kind of see this odd thing that Ovok has, kind of faces. He turns his back on Strahd and faces you all, so it doesn't look good.
And I can't cast Thunder Smite, can I? Because I cast.
You did Shield of Faith. You have 2 turns though, so whatever you have an action that you can use now, and then you're gonna have another turn. So
I'm going to test my luck to see if I can hit him.
okay.
So I have no magic weapons. I guess that's a negative on a hit.
With a 13, yeah, that does not hit. So basically, you swing your Morning Star, and he reaches out and stops the blow from hitting him.
Alright, so that is my first turn.
Yes.
Second turn. How's everybody's health?
Ovok is the only one that's been hit so far.
I'm
Wait.
gonna wait.
Kill her.
Valaria and Laszlo, I think, have been hit.
Okay. They're away from Strahd.
Which I am like, my carotid artery is split right now. Just so you know.
Who was that? Obak?
Dude's
Not
doing
Obak.
fine.
Laszlo.
He's doing fine. I forgot to sort these. Shoot.
Yeah, Laszlo.
Where the hell is Laszlo?
He is.
You can't find me because I don't look like me.
He saw you, change.
Laszlo
Yeah, but
looks
see, I'm
like
gonna-
a clone of Strahd walking
I
around.
think that's his mom.
I'm gonna run over and I'm gonna knock Strahd over, and then nobody will know who's who.
Well, I am going to try a stupid move, but it's just a whole night of stupidity.
Okay,
so
do
let's
it.
Go. Let's go with Compel Duel on Strahd.
Okay, do it. What does it do? Tell me what it does.
I'm trying to find it. I've just had it.
It's right there, man.
You're funny.
Compel duel.
That, there it is. You attempt to compel a creature into a duel. One creature that you can see within range must make a wisdom saving throw of 12. On a failed save, that creature is drawn to you, compelled by your divine demand.
And is that an action?
That is a bonus action.
All right. Well, you attempt to do that, and he got a 22.
God. That's an attack, which I failed again, right?
No, you can roll damage on that.
Okay. Yeah.
Ovak, I want you to do your parry for me.
Oh,
If you
so
have-
shit.
If you have dice.
I do have eyeball. Let me double check. I think I have one left.
Okay.
Yeah, I have one. Do my parry.
Right. Okay, so Torvin, as you try to strike Strahd with your Morning Star, Ovak, surprising you, actually takes her blade out to block it. You're in this bout, you're a little bit stronger than her, and your Morning Star still hits Strahd in the chest. But surprising enough, Strahd seems completely unfazed by this. You still have movement. Did you want to do anything else?
Yeah, I don't know Laszlo, right?
You saw him. What is your perception? No, you don't know what. You have no idea what's going on with Laszlo. Your perception's pretty low.
Yeah.
You know Laszlo is over there, and for some reason it's a guy that looks like the guy you're attacking.
So I'm just gonna try to keep myself in front of Obak and Strahd so that everyone else can do what they need to do.
Okay. Cool. I forgot to do bats, so I'm gonna do these bats right here. They are
Of
going
course.
to fly over here. Not right there, right there. And they're going to attempt to nibble on Selkar. What did that roll? That did not roll good enough. So Selkar, you're able to fend off this swarm of bats that just seems to try to poke and prod and eat you.
Cool.
So good job.
Thank you.
And next up is Ismark. Ismark, much like you, Torvin, decides to dash towards Strahd. Irina, coming to some resemblance of herself, reaches out to stop him, is unable to do so, but for those of you near him, can see that she breaks off something from his neck that looks like it was some sort of necklace or amulet as he breaks into stride, attempting to attack Strahd. And he levies that longsword and goes for 2 quick swings. The first one goes across Strahd's front side, much like many of the others. Selkar, you see another flash of this red light. Now that you've seen it once before, you see it flash overhead towards the castle.
Oh.
The second one, Strahd, reaches out and grabs his arms, pulls him in, and upon doing so, you just hear Strahd say, he looks at Irina and says, "If you wish to see your brother again, Irina, you will join me in Ravenloft." And with that, he takes his cloak and wraps it around him and Ismark, and in a bit of mist that explodes outward, both of them disappear. So, back
Okay.
to...
So Torvin, can you kill me?
Oh, I was planning on it.
Please, dude. Yeah, please.
Back to the order. We have this swarm of bats that is going to attack Adric. Oh, no, Adric. So basically the bats try to go at you. Your armor and your blade keep them at bay.
Sweet.
Next up is this guy who is not stuffed, so he is going to try to attack. So many things! Dirty 20. Okay, so 2 attacks hit you, Selkar. As basically one bite and a claw comes down and hits you for 9 damage.
Okay, Selkar takes 9 damage.
This one moves up and away, trying his best to climb over the wall. Alari, you get attack of opportunity if you would like to take it, but of course you don't have to. Are you taking it?
Yes, I will.
No, you know, but never mind. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
You don't
Never
have to.
mind. I'm sorry. I'm
you don't have
thinking the bats. Never mind.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
So
No,
with
I
that-
don't want to attack the zombie.
It's just like right out of range. Basically, it disappears into the wall of mist, so I can go ahead and take that boy off. Next up is this one over here, who's going to now move in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just enough. Move in there. Attempt to attack Adric. Adric, with your superior quickness, the zombie comes up empty-handed.
Double sweep.
And this one is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as he moves basically into the wall of mist too, because it's gone. And then Alaria, you are up now.
I guess this thing of bats.
Okay, yep.
I will
Swarm of
attack.
bats. Looks like this, kind of. Is baddie.
These are coming through at level 1.
Are you casting them higher level than 1?
Normally it asks me what level I want to, and it's not doing that this time.
Magic missiles cantrip, right?
No.
Oh no. Okay.
No, it's a level 1 spell. So basically, just cast 1 extra for whatever level you're going to go up. So it's normally 3, so just click it 3 times, and then if you want to do it above that, you would just click it a 4th time. So
Okay,
now it's
so,
level 2.
Yeah.
All right, so 4, 8, 11 damage shoots out to this swarm of bats. So basically, you shoot off these missiles, hitting this cloud of vermin in the air, and you see as some of them start to fall from the sky, as what was once a large swarm is about half the size. Would you like to do anything else?
Yes. Hold on. I've got this thing here. No, I'm gonna move. Oh, stop.
And next up, of course, is Adric.
Dead.
Okay. I am going to give Ovok, do a wisdom saving throw with advantage. With advantage. That is still not enough, but you get to do it one more time with advantage.
Okay.
There you go. Okay. So basically, as these bats and zombies are assailing what you do know still to be your, comrades, the magic that has charmed you starts to fade, and as you see Ilaria shoot down the swarm of bats, or shoot down half of the bats, finally the charm that is assailing you fades completely, and now you see the real enemies, those of which are the undead and the bats.
Dang nabbit, I was going to come in and pretend I was still there and have him
Nice.
follow by my side and fight with me.
I would love for all of you just to attack Laszlo as Strahd disappears, and now he's the only Strahd around. That'd be great. Anyways, Adric, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna take a swipe with that guy.
Okay.
Hang on, make sure I get the right one.
Okay, roll
Yeah.
damage on that.
Why does that one say lightning? Damn. All right, so that's 7 piercing and 5 radiant damage.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so you come down on this zombie. When you do so, you pierce its neck. The radiant damage comes out, severs it. The torso is still standing there, and there's the little zombie head is right there. See it? It's right there.
It's its own standalone thing now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's right there. So it still kind of writhes, and it's still, you just see it.
Bonus action, step on it.
it's in the way. I mean, it's behind the thing. I mean, technically it can occupy the same space, but just for visibility, it's right there. Okay. Anything else you want to do? The zombie would just had its head lopped off, falls to its knees. It is still moving. But yeah, it's prone technically right now.
And I kick it over onto its head.
You want to kick the zombie onto the head?
Basically I just want to kick it backwards onto its own head.
Okay. Do you have like an action or something?
No,
You
bonus
can't do
action.
that.
That's about it. It's not an attack. It's just kind of a push.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I still have to be technical about that because later on people will be like, "Well, you let him push."
Yeah, that's
So
fine. That's all I got.
Yeah. No. Ovok, you're up, and you know who the real enemies are.
Okay.
So what you doing?
Um. I am gonna get between Arena and this bat if I can.
Okay.
How high is it?
It already attacked Sokar, so it's about 5 feet off the ground, like a swarm of bats, just kind of floating
Okay,
there,
so
I guess.
a melee attack would hit.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So I will do that. I hope hits. God, I hope that hits.
Yes. Go and roll damage on that.
Whoops. I don't know why that went twice.
It's because the crit. So, but we ignore that, and we only do the. Well, actually, no, yeah, doesn't matter. 9. Wait, what's the +1? What's the 1d8?
I don't know. Let me just roll the damage again.
Oh,
and
I
see what
think that
happens.
is the crit. It just did it twice for some reason. So it's just 10. It's just 10.
Yeah.
We'll just do the 10. Okay, so with 10, you strike into this swarm of bats, hitting quite a few as your longsword just kind of cuts through, and you just see like wings and fangs and ears and fur just like fall to the ground, and about half of them get cleaved from from this.
Okay. I will use. Well. No, I'll. That's not my turn.
Okay. Next up is these boys. They're gonna move over here
I'll be right back. By the way.
and attack Ovok. Alright, so when Ovok comes back, she needs to take 2 piercing damage. As the little baddies get him. And Selkar, you're up.
Okay. So yeah. I'm guessing I did see Laszlo turn though.
Yeah.
With my passive. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Only Ovok and Torvin would be the ones to not really see, like, notice that he did disguise self on him. So unless something is said, he looks like an enemy.
Okay, to Ovok and Laszlo. No, sorry.
No, Ovok and Torvin.
Ovok and
You don't know that.
Torvin.
They know that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I know he's there. Okay, so I am going to, I'm going to use an actual Word of Radiance.
Okay.
And cast it, and so that would be the bat, the zombie, and I guess the still moving zombie there, if you don't mind. So they need to have a Constitution save.
Okay. I
Take
forgot
4
what the DC
damage.
is, but I'm pretty sure that one failed. And
13.
this one fails, so 4 damage for both of them. The one that was prone falls over. You can say how he dies.
Sure, I like to he's going to burst into radiant flame, which I know is not actual fire, but radiant flame, and it's going to be this like super dark purple / black, where he just kind of withers away in some radiant glow flame thing.
Perfect. Yeah. Is that an area of effect or just 2 target?
It is anyone within 5 feet of me. Anyone within 5 feet of me that I choose.
Gotcha.
I can post it if you need me to.
No, you're good. Okay.
Your
So
choice.
yeah, the one to your east, still standing, definitely gets blasted by this wave of radiance, but is still writhing and kind of lurching there.
Perfect. Okay. And the bats, I assume, took a little damage, but they didn't get hit like the. Could I tell the zombie took more?
No, that's a good point because I did not do a save for the bat. No, it failed. So the bats near you take 4. You can't tell if all the damage looks to be about the same all the way around.
Okay. So it didn't look like they take any more. The undead took any more.
No, it didn't look like that.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Some of the bats do fall to the ground. These over here. So.
Okay. And then for my bonus action, I'm gonna do some big old healing word for Mr. Laszlo / Selkar. Mr. Laszlo / whatever his name is.
Strahd.
Vampire guy. Where is my healing word? Healing word. Number 1.
Oh, okay. Ovok is down from that. From the bat bites earlier.
Got it. Oh, well then never mind. I won't be doing that. Because Ovok is down. So that healing word is actually going to Ovok, but instead of 4 hit points, he gets 4, 5, 6, 8 hit points.
Okay. So
Because
8 hit
if
points
somebody's
to Ovok.
0 hit points, do math.
It's still down, but you're prone. Is that your turn, Selkar?
Yes.
Alright, next up is Irina, who collapses into just tears as Ismark has disappeared. She goes prone and is crying. Donovich scoots up, still hiding behind some stuff. Scoots over here, actually. There, Ilaria. Doesn't really do too much. And next up is some bats right here. We're going to try to attack Silkar, who do so. Silkar take whopping 2 damage as they bite you.
Bite me. Ooh.
Bite you.
Owie.
The bats. Oh nope, it's Laszlo's turn.
How much damage did it take last time?
I don't
7? Is that 8?
don't remember. From what?
The bats. No,
I doubt
no,
it
it
was
wasn't.
that
It was
much.
from. It wasn't the bats. It was from the.
Zombie?
You said something. Zombie. His claw and a bite.
Yeah. Alright, Laszlo,
2.
you're up.
So
with
what's
your
up with
disguise.
the 2 things of bats with the red on them?
Those have been dealt damage, and they're like half. The swarm is half as large. That's just a
Okay.
reminder for me.
And is Ovak in trouble with the little circle next to him?
Ovok went down from damage. You saw Selkar heal her, but she's still on the ground.
Okay.
But she's conscious.
And then this zombie's the only zombie left.
Looks to be that way.
How close do I need to be to Ovak to do curing wounds?
It's a touch spell, right? So 5 feet if it's touch spell.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's going to put me there. Alright. I'm not going to be able to go in there and do that.
You could.
I'm gonna go.
Could get right there, or right
Yeah,
there.
but I gotta go through those bats.
Yeah, but they don't strike you unless you go out of their stuff.
Alright, so, actually, let me come here. If I come here, I can do the healing wounds on Ovak, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that. And, let me get over there. Or it's cure wounds, sorry. Same thing, right?
Cure wounds, yes. Cure wounds. It's, I think healing word is 1d4, cure wounds is 1d8, I should say.
Yes, and what level am I casting this at?
Probably level 1, because I think that's all the level spells you have as a ranger. So you rolled a 1, which sucks, but you get +2 from wisdom, so 3 more healing points for Ovak.
How many?
3 more. 3.
So what options do I have now?
Bonus action? None, really, none.
Y'all thwart all my plans.
Yeah, not many. But I will say that Ovak, Conscious, and Torvin, you find it really strange that someone that looks just like Strahd just bent over and healed Ovak.
Well, I just saw Strahd take the brother, so I would assume
No.
that
You can roll intelligence check for me.
the real Strahd isn't there.
You don't know anything. You don't know?
Intelligence.
But yeah, Torvin, you're up next. With a 19, I'll say that after he bends down and heals, that Strahd is probably not your enemy. So at least you won't be like, I should attack him.
Thank you.
Y'all ruined my plan, damn it.
I just wonder if Ovak knows.
I think Ovak has better intelligence than the paladin.
Oh, okay.
And I would hope Ovak would attack back if I just healed a little bit.
Oh, they have the same. Okay, cool. Anyways, Torvin, you're up.
Yeah, just threw everything out that I was gonna do, so
We'll do something different.
just gonna go attack a stupid bat.
Okay, do it. Cool.
I
Kill it.
planned an epic thing.
Yeah.
Y'all had to go heal Elva.
Just had to. How dare y'all? Okay, roll damage. Alright, that is actually enough. So you could say how you basically baseball bat these things away.
Right to Ovok's face.
Sure, you're a lefty in this case, I guess. As
I am a lefty.
Ovok is well, perfect. Ovok, as some bats fall down dead amongst you there on the ground. Would you like to do anything else, Torvin? Irina's
How
just
many
crying,
enemies-
and bats are just falling around her too, dead. It's just great.
How many enemies are on the field? Just the bat and the zombie?
Yeah. What you can see is 2 bats and a zombie. This one, and this one.
Y'all had to go heal Ovok, so compel duel on Ovok.
You're gonna compel duel Ovok.
Yes.
Okay, Ovok, I think you have to do some saving throws or something.
Wisdom.
Yeah. What am I saving throw?
Wisdom.
Is there a reason why Torvin wants to kill Ovok?
There's a lot of reasons why everybody wants to kill me.
Wisdom saving throw. If you couldn't hear, he was kind of quiet.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Sorry.
Oh,
Alright,
well,
well,
he
that's
said
safe.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, my plan was to make her duel me, beat the shit out of her, heal her, and then make her follow me. Because that shit's annoying.
Ovok's not charmed anymore.
Orvok wasn't charged when she charged Strahd.
Torvin, I swear you can beat the shit out of me when this is over. All you want.
Okay.
You
No.
can just
Swarm
Absolutely.
of bats are going to attack Laszlo. Surprise, surprise.
How dare you attack your master?
They attack Laszlo. Laszlo, you take a whopping 6 piercing damage as the bats just assail you with their tiny little teeth. Their little EB claws.
You
Next
shall
up.
pay for this, you evil bats.
Yeah. The next one is the zombie over there. Is going to attempt to attack. Ooh, crit. But everything. Oh, that's a hit too. That's a lame crit. I'm so upset right now.
Yes, lame crit is good.
Boo. So yeah, it tries to bite you and misses, but it comes down with 2 claws. One of them rips very deep into your abdomen and deals 12 slashing damage. The other one comes down for 7 slashing damage.
Unfortunately, it's not how it works. The first one hits me for 12 slashing damage, and I go unconscious. And the second one does crit, and I lose 2 death saving throws.
Ooh, well, in that case, yeah, that happens then. So you do this, and then I can't add a bunch of things, but this and this. Okay, it's not gonna move though. It's just gonna chill there. Alaria, you're up.
Hey, by the way,
I'm
I was going to
gonna
put my
shoot.
health here, but what's 33? Is that?
33 the red?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that supposed to be my health?
Yeah, should be your health there.
Oh, I have 21. Well, I had 21. I know I'm at 0, but...
Oh, okay. It's just your token thing. Magic missile again at level 2. Alright, who is this going towards? The Zambi? Yeah, that is definitely enough to take it out. How does it die with the magic of the missiles? Oh, you're muted.
I wasn't
Or no,
prepared
wait, there
for
we
him
go.
to die. Well, he gets hit in the face with the first one, and then the second one, he's kind of like on fire now. The third one comes in, and I don't know, he just blows up.
Purple
Beautiful.
glitter.
So yeah, just these force missiles come in and just completely eviscerate him as he just kind of gets blasted into many parts. And then one of the parts happens to be an arm that is right here. Little itty bitty arm. I'm gonna make it bigger just because. Make these things bigger. Just because it helps. Yeah. So, and that arm is still moving, mind you. Alaria, did you want to do anything else?
Nope.
Adric's up.
All right. Seeing that my brother is down, I will take I'll take an attack at this closest threat. Hopefully, clear the area a little bit,
Okay.
so that he doesn't get hit again. Let me bring that up. Well, that's nice. $15, 4 radiant.
Ooh, how's it die? Bunch of bats.
I want to time it just perfectly so I skewer them.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like a shish kebab,
Yep,
just to
bat kebab, or a bat
track
kebab.
their flight patterns.
A bat kebab.
And
Very
then I want to
nice.
flick them off onto the arm that's just flopping around on the ground.
That one right there. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So bats just kind of scatter the ground above Silkar. Their dead bodies. As you do so, you see the arm like kind of one of the nearby bats that lands next to it. It finds it, feels it, and grabs it, and you just see it just squeeze, and the bat's body just becomes squish, and just nothing inside of inside of the hand.
Perfect. Well, I'm glad that's the bat and not my brother, which was kind of the thought.
Next, is that your turn?
Yep, that's it.
Ovak is up, and Ovak, you're conscious. You are prone, but you can stand up, of course. What is Ovak doing?
Oh, I'm sorry, my microphone was off. So I use half my movement speed to stand up, and then to move Irina behind me. Would that be an action or my movement speed?
You can. These things are dead, so you can stand on top of them.
Yeah, I guess that makes more sense. So I'll just move up
Yeah,
the rest, basically the rest of my movement speed, and I'll attack the hand with
Okay.
my short sword or long sword. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll damage on that. Yeah, with that, you do in fact. How do you want the hand to, or the arm and hand and whatnot? How do you want it to die?
I just stoically hack it across the top of the hand. Just cut it in half.
Okay. And 5 fingers sprout out and start moving. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's start
Pain in the ass.
slowly
And-
moving toward my throat.
Just in case something crazy happens, I'll use my second wind, which is a 1d10 plus 3 for health.
Okay.
So that's a 12.
Yep.
Okay, and that's my turn.
So right before your turn, Selkar, you hear the slightest thing as you're fading from consciousness, and it basically just says, "Let the Night Mother guide you." And with that, you get healed.
Oh.
7 damage.
7, yeah, cool. I don't take 7 damage, right? You said heal,
You
right?
get healed.
Okay.
You get healed 7.
Just want to triple
Healed
check.
for 7, and it is
Yeah.
your turn.
Okie dokie. So
Also,
I
that
take...
voice sounded a lot like Donovich's.
Cool. Okay. Nice. So let me. Yeah, I'll stand up.
Okay.
Using my half movement. And I am going to cast Cure Wounds on me.
Okay.
Because everyone else looks hurt but not in danger, right? Some people look
Yep,
hurt.
there's just some bats down here. Big swarm of bats and a zombie
Oh.
head on the ground.
Got it. Oh, I forgot about that. And the bats, are they have they been damaged at all? Have I noticed that, or have I been too busy?
This looks like a fresh swarm of bats.
Cool, super freshy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I want to hold Toll the Dead for the
Okay.
moment they get damaged.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to use my reaction to hold a cantrip.
All right, so you're not healing yourself. You're doing that.
Correct.
All right.
Actually, can I use no? No, looking at my spell slots, I'm not doing that either. I'm just going to hold the Dead.
Okay. Next up is Irina, who is still on the ground, basically, well, on her knees, just crying and sobbing. Laszlo, you're up, still looking like a Strahd.
Okay, well, I'm gonna look at these bats and I'm gonna say, "Vengeance is mine, you foul beast."
Indeed. All right, roll damage.
Roll that beautiful bean damage.
And is that then when my
Yes, Toll the Dead can go off now as 4 slashing damage is done to the bats.
cool, and I'll hit the Toll the Dead.
And they have to do a
Oh
save,
fuck
right?
them. Yes,
Wow.
they take. I waited to get the 1d12 damage, but the 1d12 damage is a 1.
Is really bad. I will say with their save, that it does 2 damage.
Oh, that bad. Okay.
Yeah.
You
All right.
should
So
not.
Laszlo, you still have your offhand attack if you wish to use that. But basically, the bats in front of you start falling from your blade, and then also this. Well, you just see them kind of writhe and screech. Some more of them fall to the ground. You can roll damage. The thing with echolocation, man, that should be like super effective. Super effective against Zubat. Just kills you. Colossus Slayer does hit, of course. Of course, it's a 1. But that's 6 damage. So that leaves just a few bats still in the sky. And you have movement speed. Did you want to do anything else?
No.
Torvin, you're up. With the only threat being this bat and then this head, which it'd be really hard for you to see it, but there's a little chompy head over here.
I don't want to throw it. I just want to stab with the javelin.
Okay. Roll damage. Killing it. That's plus your strength, though, right? So your strength is +3.
Yeah,
4
4.
damage. Yeah, that's enough. So how do you want to? Do you want to make another kebab?
Yes, I was going to say, I'm just going to skewer them and then wave it at whoever did it.
You did it. What do you mean? Who did it? You did it.
I didn't do it.
You skewered
No,
him.
he meant originally.
Yeah.
Who did what?
He waves it at
Whoever skewered them originally.
Oh.
I did.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. Adric.
Just a little friendly banter in combat.
Did I get
Nice.
more bats on mine?
You did get more bats on yours.
Yeah.
I roll my eyes and don't care. Bonus
Uh,
action.
Nice. All right. So the only thing left is a little chompy head, but I'm gonna go ahead and take y'all out of combat here, as the chompy head is not moving. Okay. So at this time,
I'm beelining it.
what are y'all doing?
So is combat completely over?
Yeah. Combat's over.
Alright, well, Ovak is gonna kind of stumble south a bit, and for the first time in her life, she's just gonna start sobbing and crying and thinking about all the stupid things that she's done that she thought was good versus evil, and realizing that what she had done in the last couple of days have been more evil than anything she'd ever seen, and then realized that just her party and her friends trying to save her and keep her alive was better than anything she'd ever done, and really start to rethink her decisions and what she kind of reviewed as good and bad.
Little existential crisis never hurt anyone.
Exactly.
Okay. So all of you see this as stands next to Irina and begins to sob next to her. Both sobbing. Also, Laszlo still looks like Strahd. Just to let everyone know.
I'll
I'm
I'll
gonna
go
keep
over
that up the rest of the game.
Yeah, that should go well.
Every village we go into, wherever we go, I'm gonna get free drinks for the team. I'm just gonna give people the look and say, no, free drinks here, free lodging, free food.
I'm gonna look at Ovok dead in the face, and I'm gonna say, "That's twice you nearly killed this entire party."
Between my sobs, I say it will be the last time. I promise you.
I look at everyone else because I just want to lay the hammer down right now.
I'll go over and say we all make mistakes, and though I'm glad none of us died, it is also just the beginning of the journey. Uh, and it's important to make learning, to learn while you're alive, but also to be okay with death. It can happen. I'm glad you seem to have realized problem with charging ahead without plan. Hopefully, we can be better team. But when somebody does die, it's okay too. Though sad.
Well, maybe. Getting my party killed is wrong. That is the epitome of evil. And I'll do everything I can to prevent that from happening from now on.
I don't know about evil, but stupid, sure, but not evil.
Definitely stupid.
So Donovich starts. Some of you see him walking up from his hiding spot and says, "Yeah, not very smart. Not very smart, that one.
She learned, okay?
Especially
I'm gonna look
Strahd.
at her.
I
I'm
wouldn't
gonna.
do that to Strahd." And he like goes over to like the zombie head and just like takes his shovel and just shoves it in its mouth, and you just hear like a crack as it dies.
I'm gonna walk up next to him as Strahd and just stare at him. See if this little bitch runs behind his headstone again.
I'm gonna go ahead and are we do you want to take a rest? We have a nice church in there that is nice and peaceful, no screaming people.
Have we all forgot about Irina? Mourning over her father, or sorry, her brother.
I was gonna say.
Oh, I did forget. Yes.
Terrible,
Yeah,
terrible person.
she's basically just sobbing into her hands. As far as you, Laszlo, Donovich looks at you, cocks his head and says, "There is only one Strahd. I know you're not Strahd."
Well, I'll say to the group at large.
And I scratch his face.
Right,
Oh my
roll
God.
attack. Roll attack. Roll.
Against who?
Donovich
Okay. Well, that
With
guy's
your-
kind of an asshole.
with your cat claws.
Where the hell's attack? Oh, just the cat claws?
Yeah, you said you scratch his face. What are you gonna scratch his face
Well,
with?
While he's doing that, I'll say to the group at large, we should probably get out of the open. We need to regroup and make a plan, rest and heal. And I don't think this is a good place to do it. The church is trashed, but we can head back to the mansion and set out, make a plan this evening.
So Laszlo, you reach out to try to scratch Donovan, and surprisingly, you miss as he just steps away from you, and goes over to Irina, and puts his hand, like, goes over to comfort. I'm gonna move these bats. He goes over to comfort her, picking her up from the ground, and you hear him just talk to her and says, "My dear, is most likely lost. But
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
know...
look at him and say, "That's right. You step away,
Okay, cool.
run away.
All right, you say that as he goes over and does this.
Next time I won't miss."
My God. Okay. He picks
I
up
had
Irina.
mercy on you.
I'm gonna mute you. He picks up Irina and says, "Your brother is most likely lost, dear. But I know that he wants you to be safe more than anything. He told me of your plans to go to Valaki. You seem to have a strong group here, even though very foolhardy." And he looks at like Ovok and Laszlo. But they should be able to keep you safe on your journey there. And she just starts wiping away her tears and just gives like the slightest of nods.
Ovak would still like to push the dirt on this grave if we haven't done so already.
No, that's not done. So if you want to do that, that's fine. I would say that as you go over there to do that, Donovich, at this time, he actually like stops you and he says, you've done enough. You need to get her somewhere safe.
Very well. And I kind of lower my eyes and kind of accept what that means. And I get up next to Irina and escort her out.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to stop along the way somewhere.
Donovich says, I know you mentioned the mansion that you wish to go to. Before you leave, of course, you can stop by the mercantile. There may be goods there. The prices are steep, but things are there that you can't find in Barovia elsewhere.
I think that's a good idea.
Maybe we should go back to mansion and take. We're talking about our mansion, right? The one we now have.
The burger.
No. We're talking about the Burgermeister's home.
Oh, got it. Okay.
The one that's close by and hasn't tried to kill us yet.
Got it. We can go rest there. Thank you for saving my life. I believe that came from you. I think I heard your voice.
Yes. I don't want to see another one taken by Strahd, but there was nothing I can do for Ismark. I am just one holy man.
Of course not. I wouldn't expect you to fight unless you've been trained for it. I appreciate the life, though, you saved. Me, particularly. Do you know if the merchant has maybe healing potion? Small ones are okay. Anything.
I'm not sure what he'll have in stock. As for something like that, it's doubtful. Something like that is very rare.
I just realized if I go, then nobody here can protect as well. Okay, find something. Thank you.
And he starts burying covering the casket up with dirt. Are y'all making your way back to the mansion?
Making my way downtown.
Or, I mean,
I
it is
think so.
still, like, you did all this at dawn. Like, even though you did a good bit of stuff and fighting and whatnot, it is still very early in the morning. So you can make your way to the mansion, you get to the mercantile or whatever. We're going to wrap here, but starting next week, do y'all want to start at the mansion, or you're going to make your way to the mercantile place that he mentioned?
Which one's on the way-ish?
Mercantile is actually on the way to the mansion.
Well, then, yeah. Well,
Yeah, we'll start that.
And we can start there.
Okay.
Next sesh.
Yep. Sounds good. Then we'll call it here.
Is this us doing a long rest? Or
Well, you're going to
will
stop by the
we-
mercantile, and then I guess you're going to rest.
I think a long
I
rest
understand.
really bad.
Or you can do, I mean, you could do vice versa. I'm just letting you know that it is
short
on
rest
the way.
is an hour. Oh, yeah. Short rest is an hour. Is it? Is that correct?
I thought it was 2, but I think you can do.
I don't know.
I should know that. It's horrible. Yeah, 1 hour. At least 1 hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
do that. And do
yeah,
with
is it
dice.
safe? Is it safe to rest here before we go? Maybe an hour. I'll ask the priest.
He looks around at like the undead and whatnot, and he says, "Maybe."
If we short rest,
A short rest
I think
doesn't
Torvin
help me,
wants
so.
to short spar me. So would that count as a short rest if he fought me?
No. How's that resting at all?
I don't know. Like exercise is sort of a rest. I don't know.
Well, it wasn't. I wasn't wanting to spar. I was just wanting to beat Tor back.
Just beat the shit out of
I can't do the mission. Fall in line at this point.
And literally at this point, I think she would just lay down and let you just kill her. Like she's
It would not be a
pretty
problem.
fucked up.
No. You have it.
We can. You can still so the mist that had been blocking everything. You can now easily see the village to the south. So if y'all want to make your way down there, and then of course you can rest inside the mansion afterwards, and we could just do that.
Okay. So we'll head toward the mercantile district.
Okay, so that's where we'll start next time. You'll go into the mercantile shop, and yeah, we'll do. It'll be 3.5 hours, and Laszlo will not be here for that.
Good little sociopath. Jesus.